Hello. Hello. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is. For you, where you are, happy Saturday. All the way over there. Hi. Happy kitty cat. How's everybody doing? Catterday. Good evening. Morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Morning. Good morning. Hi. I am Hazel. I'm awake. I want to play hardcore, but I'm a little nervous about I'm going to procrastinate logging in for a minute because I feel like early stream is the most dangerous time to play because 1, I'm not warmed up yet. 2, not awake yet. 3, extra distracted saying hi to everybody. So I feel like it's a good time for something bad to happen. So maybe we'll try to find something easy to do. Lest we make another ghost for the graveyard. Just waking up, brewing coffee, cooking vegetables for later. You're actually not dead. Surprised your hunter isn't dead. Not yet. I also made myself a second chance warlock. Maybe every time I have to make another warlock, I will just anagram scramble the letters in Hazel. This is just Hazel backwards. And maybe I'll just scramble it every time. Although, I'm definitely never going to die again because of all the really stunning life lessons I learned from the first one. And by that I mean, get wands early. We knew this, but apparently I didn't take it to heart. But we're level 16. This is as high as I've ever been. I've never been higher than that. And as it happens, she's wearing my favorite boots. I actually like to transmog these boots sometimes in retail because they're red and they go over the knee and they have 2 whole belts to keep them on. So you know they're not going anywhere. Say ill or lazy. You can PvP in hardcore if you choose to do so. I choose to not do so. Make a hardcore tune, can't decide what to play. Make a thing, and then if it dies, then you make the next thing. You can kind of work through them. So I did some profession and just like cleanup stuff, I'm pretty sure, off stream, but I didn't actually level any further. I went and like worked my fishing a bit. I've got some catfish to feed to my cat, but I don't think I did anything major otherwise. I'm gonna stay in Aspect of the Monkey for a minute. I'm gonna get a food buff back, and I'm gonna find something nice and relatively safe to maybe just kind of roam up and down here and try and gently farm some Moonstalker fangs and maybe rabbit thistlebears, but even those can be kind of dangerous. Also, I am now a high enough herbalism level to pick strangle kelp, and I'm a high enough alchemy level that with some oily blackmouth and some strangle kelp, I can actually make water breathing elixirs, which is going to make my life way easier if I decide to do these diving quests. There are mobs to kill. It's not just diving, but having 30 minutes of water breathing will make that dramatically better. So we're happy about that. You'd think I would have memorized where my general goods is at this point in Aberdeen. You know, I'm moving in for a while. You'd think I would know. No 10-pound fish. No 10-pound fish. I don't know how lucky I was on my first gnome to get that. I have not seen another one. Kiri and Puppy are doing fine. They're still opposite sides of the gate. They're probably going to continue to be like that for a while. It's a pretty high bar because all he wants to do is play with her, which is usually kind of like the thing for general goods. It's this guy. Usually that's kind of like where you want your dog to be a cat-friendly dog is play with cat but not eat cat. But because she's blind and sweet and too polite to tell anybody to go away, I'm gonna need to bring it all the way down to leaves cat alone, aside from gentle sniffs and wistful staring. And as a young puppy, that's gonna be a long process, even though he's the best boy. I want water. I'm thirsty. Saturday and I'm thirsty. I want, level 12. Whiz bang. Where? Oh, maybe upstairs actually. Mr. Good Morning. Hello, Hazel. Hello, Eyelet. Thank you for the armor kits. I got them. I have equipped them. I am reinforced armor. What does he want? Fishing. He wants me to fish. Bring 8 gaffer jacks. If you fish for them in the ocean, you might get lucky. That's funny. I mean, that is one way to warm up. We can crank our game sound and do some fishing. I don't see why not. Am I gonna get some silver? Probably some experience. You never know. My fishing is better than it was, so I might not let quite so many fish get away this time. I'm gonna crank sound and turn off music actually for a second to help me. Let's turn off music, crank master, crank sound, so that I can actually tell when I'm getting a fish here. Given how many died of drowning, you can make a bank on the auction house selling those water-breathing pots. They're apparently 2 silver-ish listed, but I don't know how many people are actually buying them because needing them and then remembering that they exist and going to purchase them on the auction house are different things. And not everybody's going to make it far enough to even get to the point where they need them. Oh, I'm getting these 100% drop. I have 2 of them already. That is not like my experience getting the darkshore grouper. Dr. Vinny was so great. I felt a bit bad bothering him, but I didn't bother him for very long. It's one of my struggles as a new puppy mom, is that I know when he's sleeping, I know I need to let him sleep. He needs a lot of rest. I need to let him rest. You're not supposed to wake him up if you can absolutely avoid it. But he's just so squishy. He's just got the fur and then the squish, 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 and then you like give him the scritches and then he goes, oh, and he gets all comfy and like, it's so cute. He's like, it's his most cuddly because in other times of the day, when he's more fully awake, it's not that he's not cuddly, but that he mixes his cuddles with playtime, which sometimes means you get bit at this point in his young life. So if you want like the real good cuddles, you got to kind of pick your moment. Oh, he's so cute. Got another bag? I did, yes. I spent my silver. I dropped like 50 silver or so. I basically spent myself back down to 12. And I got a second 10 slot bag, and I think it was important that I did. Because, oh, darkshore grouper are a real fish. For some reason I thought those were like a quest-specific item, but nope, that's an actual fish. You could probably just trade those to somebody who's trying to do the darkshore grouper quest. Or I could feed them to the cat. Oh, no, I haven't done a prediction yet. Let's do that before we go do anything dangerous. Also, Astra72, thank you for the 34-month resub. Let me fire my prediction back up again. We are, I mean, you don't have to do anything, but you can bet channel points on whether or not today is the day that Erlyn dies. I am level 16. I am in Darkshore. It's a dangerous place, but we didn't die yesterday. But I'm running out of safe things to do, so take that as you will. We're going to start the prediction. We're going to basically run the exact same one again. We're going to give you, let's give you 10 minutes to vote. We'll give 10 minutes to vote again. We have survived for a couple days running, but you only got to die once. Backspace has never been so precious. Started fully teething then. Yes, he is losing teeth. The poor guy, every now and then, like you can tell that it hurts, and like every now and then he'll get like a wiggly one and it'll start bleeding and you see that he's got like blood in his duck and it's like, oh, poor buddy. He is a big fan of ice cubes. He likes gumming on them, and he doesn't swallow them whole. He just kind of like holds them in his mouth and like licks them and then occasionally chases them around. And he's also a big enough puppy that I'm not worried about getting his tummy too cold if he does swallow one. So I've been giving him ice cubes whenever he starts whining about his mouth, or whining, and I think it's his mouth because, well, he really likes them. And poor guy. I thought that he would like teething toys. I purchased a variety of different things. There's a hunter dead at level 18. I purchased a variety of different teething toys of various levels of like shape and hardness and softness and whatever, because I anticipated this. I was reading up about puppies. There's a lot of information about teething, and I wanted to make sure I had like the right thing to offer him. And it turns out all my friend wants to do is gum on cloth. He wants fabric. He does not really want any of the toys, the teething toys. He wants like his plushy stuffed animals. He wants my clothes. He wants my shirts. He wants the blankets on the couch. So I have sacrificed the couch blanket. I try to prevent him from chewing on my clothes because it's not like I can tell you this is the shirt that you can chew on and these are the shirts you can't chew on. So I try not to let him do that. And then he's got like some cloth toys that he gums on, but it's happening quite rapidly, so hopefully it won't be too long. We are the same level. Hello. Good luck out there. Someone was trying to sell darkshore groupers by the half dozen for 30 silver to people who hate fishing. Can't imagine personally. Weathered elf hunter without a pet, you're good to go. Hubris, just say now. Before we bet, how do you feel? Good, relaxed, slept well? Slept okay. I had a late bad night. Well, not bad, but not good. I had a bad brain night last night, which is why I did the news video this morning late. I realized I wasn't going to get anywhere sitting down and trying to focus, so I got up early instead and did the moose tour as well as the news video all this morning. So I've been up for a while. I'm kind of tired. Take that as you will. But I believe in myself. I have done, in my opinion, incredible things while tired. So, in fact, most of the things in my life that are of any note, I have done while tired. So, it'll be all right. These bets are pretty one-sided. You guys believing in me? Oh, you guys are so believing in me. If someone bets on my death and I do die, they are going to be swimming in channel points. Hope you can nap later. Nights like that are mega rough. Yeah, I knew it was happening too as it was happening. It's frustrating not, like, knowing exactly what's going on and knowing that the actions you're taking aren't helping and then doing them anyway. I've done this a million times. Oh, well. New day. Try again. If you have an old t-shirt, tear off big strips, then tie knots in them. I do have old t-shirts, but I love my old t-shirts. Those are the best ones. Learned with the wiggly dog, closer I am. Hug her tight, lest she can bite or scratch me. Hug him tight when cuddling. When in doubt, fish. I talked a big game about how many gaffer jacks were dropping early, and I think I jinxed it. They've stopped. I only just now got another one. Oh man, I'm excited though, because basically I'm pretty much done. It's 9 in the morning, and having worked for a couple hours before stream, or just edited for a couple hours before stream, I am nearly done anything content-wise that I was going to get done today. So for the rest of the day, I do want to write a member post because I still haven't done that. It's going to be me talking about how I'm actually really enjoying rereading Lord of the Rings. I thought I wouldn't like it that much, and I'm in love with it all over again. So there's that. It's so relaxing. It's so good. Even though the hobbits aren't in the Shire anymore, and they're arguably really not having a very nice time at all, I'm still really into it. It's like the perfect bedtime story. I haven't been reading very much of it before falling asleep because I've been going to bed exhausted, but I'm glad that it's always there for me, and I'm glad that there's a lot of it. But yeah, I am good to nap today, and I probably will. I'm probably going to time it with a moose nap if I can. I have not been doing Secrets of Azeroth off stream. I will probably catch up on that eventually, possibly after the entire thing is done. Although maybe that's a bad idea. I remember different times in my past. Why did I get a food buff for this? I remember different times in my past where I guess I have lots of food buffs. I would wait until a thing was over and then do it all at once. The Balance of Power quest line comes to mind, although I waited on that because I thought I would never have to do it. Then it turned out I was wrong. And trying to do the entire thing that used to be time gated, once that time gating is gone, is sometimes very exhausting. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, am I almost done? And you look it up and you're like 10% in. It's just maybe a bit too much to binge. How am I doing? 3 more gaffer jacks. I did not start with The Hobbit this time. I have read it. I have read The Hobbit many times. That was one of the paperbacks that I had as a kid. Although I guess I also had Lord of the Rings paperbacks as a kid too. I read The Hobbit then. I decided not to reread it this time, but you kind of get the gist of it. You reflect on a lot of different things when you're reading through because a lot of it's kind of referred back to. Oh, they won't be having a nice time for a while. No. Oh. Poor Gandalf got Balrogged, spoilers. And they're all pretty upset about it. Oh. Level 15? Oh, you're going. Here.
Hail to the knight.
That's how this character cheers. Hail to the knight. Oh. Welcome to my life. All right, I can fish for a little longer, but then I got to keep going. We're not that we're not racing. Not that we're racing. It's like that time I overheard 2 children riding bicycles And the parent was like, you can't race the bicycles. You can ride them up and down the street, but you can't race. If you do, we're going to go home. And then the little girl was like, well, what if we're both riding and I'm faster? What if we're both going at the same speed, but then I like pedal better and then I'm in front? What if we're not racing, but I win? Racing, you say? Racing sounds dangerous. I think one of the good things about hardcore is that you don't have a time pressure. I think that kind of helps balance out all of the risks that you're managing, is that you are able to take as much space and time as you feel like you want to manage those risks. Finally got through. Gosh darn grim fight in BG3. If you know, you know. Movement speed guide still works? I believe so. However, the exact items you would, if you got them then, you would need to farm them again. And there may be some differences because the old speed sets got something to do with I don't know if it was a level score. Something happened. The old one's no good anymore, but you can get them again and then have them be good. I helped Flabby farm up some pieces of Azurite gear for the long strider trait, so that part at least is still valid. Oh, will I be doing more questing in Darkshore? I think so, yeah. I think I'm pretty much going to stay in Darkshore questing / grinding until I can't really countenance it anymore. I don't know what level that would be, but probably like early 20s if I could get there. But, you know, every smidge of experience is kind of a new thing. I don't plan on doing the wetlands run. Not unless, like, or the swim, so to speak. It just, I hear that the swim is quite safe. It just doesn't really, I'm happy up here. It's nice in the forest. Likewise, thinking 20 until there are no more quests. There are some quests that I think I just won't do. The absent-minded prospector quest is one of them. The one where you are escorting the archaeologist around the dig site. That quest is a murder machine, from what I remember from when I played Classic last time. I don't see any good reason why I should do that. Good info for betting. Crocs outside wetlands, 21 to 24. Okay. Tuna's good kitty. Forgot pet happiness was a thing. I forgot until yesterday that the level of the food that you feed your pet determines how long they stay full. Like, I couldn't understand why I kept feeding Tuna fish and Tuna kept being hungry like immediately later. And it turns out it's because I was feeding Tuna low-level fish, like level 5 fish. If I give her the bristle whisker catfish, which is the level 15 stuff, that happiness lasts way longer. I'm just going to vendor these. I wonder if I can just trade these to anybody. Anyone want some free grouper? I don't need it. I was doing a different quest. No? Oh, okay. Okay, good. So, I need probably new flasks and stuff. Let's pop a minor fort. Let's pop a troll's blood. I'm going to try and make myself a minor defense. Those are the 3 that I can do right now. Yeah. Extra armor for an hour. I'm also going to get a fresh food buff. And let's go find something nice and safe. Nice and reasonable. Nice and calm. To shoot. And warm up a little bit here. Kitty got a bump removed from her back yesterday, wearing a cone. Every other method to try and get her to not lick the spot has failed. Oh no. Sometimes it's gotta happen, but they're not happy campers about it. Oh, Miss Kira was not a big fan of the cone. Blizzard dropped high-level mobs off the waters between Menethil and Stormwind. Really? Got an undead warrior to level 9 last night and died to instant respawns. Yeah, I need to actually turn in those fish that I just spent all that time getting. They are spicy. That's, I think, I still haven't sat down and watched death clips. I've talked to people that have. I've heard from you guys and I've been talking to Flabby, and apparently that's one of the things that tends to get people is either weird group pulling or patrols like what got me, or mostly things respawning all together and all at once, that can be like extremely spicy. So my lowest level quest that I'm on right now is to destroy the ancient moonstone seal at the ancient flame in a metheron. A metheron is down here. I don't really know where the flame is, but I'm gonna do my best. I'm still not going over to that red crystal yet because that area is a little bit red. I'm gonna give that like another level or so. I'm pretty sure that's just moonkins, but you know, just because I say they're just moonkins doesn't mean they can't absolutely deck me. Follow-up quest. Did I get a follow-up quest? Electropellers. It is another fishing quest. That is true. It's going to give me aquadynamic fish lenses. A stack of 20 fishing lures that give you extra 50 fishing, which sounds actually pretty good. I'm going to untrack that, though. And 5 silver. I'm going to untrack that and hang on to that for a later date when I am needing another fishing quest. Red crystal isn't so bad. Did that today. The flame is the cogwheel inside the red circle. I think you're right. I think it's just like not showing on mouse over because there's like another thing that's right there. Because that says Aenea's pendant. That says the love eternal. That's like the other quest. But it is kind of the right area. I'll go poke around. Alright. Don't look at your map while you're running. I was on sometime yesterday and I saw a level like 40 something warlock. It was an orc warlock. I was on Horde and I saw a level 40 something lock die in Fairless and their last word was just F, just the letter F. Oh, it hurt. It made me want to pick up an orc warlock and carry on the torch, pay respects. It's so rough. The first Hazel Warlock died tragically and completely and thoroughly. She is gone. That is a new trend to say F. I mean, wasn't it from... There was like a video game that released a million years ago where there was a emotional cutscene and your character had to interact with a thing to pay respects to like a fallen friend or something like that, but it was just like the F key to press F to pay respects and that like caught on. One of the Call of Duties, yeah. It wasn't a game that I played, but I remember the memes. This was in my younger years. It was a Call of Duty thing. We were at a funeral. Yeah. I could see how that could catch on. It's got a handy double meaning. This is more silver leaf. I'm always happy to get my herb level up though. That morphed into F in chat in every single Twitch stream for a while. Thought it was an abbreviation for my favorite 4-letter word. I think it also functions as an abbreviation for your favorite 4-letter word. Could be one of those things that develops 2 meanings. Like, I don't remember exactly what example I'm thinking of, but there's another, like, common acronym for, like, a short phrase that definitely had a specific meaning to start with. But then a lot of people didn't know that meaning and assumed a different meaning based on context, and and now it could easily be either of them. I wish I could think of the exact example because that would make the story a lot more compelling. Died in Silverpine. Hate Son of Aragol. Oh dear. What is this one? Peaceful? Peaceful. Way too many options for 4-letter F words. Such an obscenely awkward Q to E button press threw everyone off, became meme-worthy. Pog part of PogChamp? Was Pog originally... I don't... If that was ever an acronym, I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was just like a prefix for like a specific streamer that was part of the original thing. I don't know for sure. I'm a little dusty in my Twitch history. They don't make you take a class. Maybe they should... Yeah. Imagine if Twitch made you take a class to get your partnership. Like, they let anybody start streaming, but they're like, listen, you want to be a partnered streamer? You gotta take our 14-day e-course.
I can't attack that.
Wasn't even Q as in quick. You had to press F to pay respects or the game doesn't progress. Yeah, I remember Pogs. I had some too. I had some shiny ones that had Looney Tunes characters on them. I didn't really understand how you played the game. It was one of those games that you have as a kid where like someone gets it for you. Nobody knows how to play, so you just kind of like have them and do whatever you want with them. I feel like it was similar with Pokemon cards. I had some Pokemon cards as a kid. None of myself or my sibling or my friends had any idea how to actually play the Pokemon card game. We just liked having the cards. I think sometimes we pretended to play the game, but then realized that nobody knew the rules. You stack them, use the slammers to swing down and knock as many off the top as you can. Huh. I guess some games don't have to be very complex. I played a not unreasonable amount of pickup sticks as a kid. Which is where you drop a bunch of sticks and then you try to pick them up. That's it. Not entirely. You have to like do it without moving the other ones. It's kind of like a single person Jenga. But it really wasn't that serious. Sounds like 52 card pickup. Oh man, is that a real game or were my parents just trying to keep me busy as a kid? Because I played that too. I did that more than once. Oh man. Oh, 52 card pickup. Ways to keep children entertained. Shalaron, a Metheron. So I'm basically looking for the Ancient Flame. Maybe I'm gonna forget Questy for a minute and I'm just gonna see if I can find the Ancient Flame that we're looking for here. Real game to keep people busy. Throw cards on the floor to keep my cousins away from me. And we get a task from their parents to go outside, go snipe hunting. That I've not heard of. My sister and I had a game that we played at our grandmother's house. And it was called A Penny a Pine Cone. And the idea was that you would go collect the pine cones from her garden and she would reimburse you for them at a rate of 1 penny per pine cone. She had just found a way to have her granddaughters clean up her yard for an extremely reasonable labor fee. But we were quite thrilled with this. I think we later negotiated a raise. Getting at least like a nickel or something per pine cone. Because even at like 99 values, that's just a campfire. That's not like the flame. Although there is a chest there. That's still pretty rough. Penny per dandelion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it was fun. It was a great game. It was like a scavenger hunt. I was very incentivized, highly motivated to locate pine cones. There is the Ancient Flame. You know what? I think that's exactly in that spot. You're totally right, Saga. That's exactly where we're going. You learned the value of a Betty. Found out classic ATT is the skills that pets can teach you in the tooltip for a mob. That's a really good tip. Paying kids to leave them alone. Yeah. I got roped into the quiet game more than once. Which, in hindsight, I can understand. For a shy kid, I sure chattered a lot. Morning, Hazel. How you doing? Hello, I'm doing good. How you doing? After the level 45 mage Gangdolf only helps with a weapon skill level. A Vile Branch Soothsayer, a troll caster in the hinterlands, apparently. Oh, man. Playing Palion, relaxing. Nice. Another pre-spider kill up to 25 attempts. I almost did a Karoctopus this morning. Also, good luck on pre-spider. I logged in to get a little bit of footage of the Krusty Crawler, just like a preview, because I don't have it yet, but I logged in to get a preview of it. And I logged on to my gnome because my evoker looked stupid on it. Because it would only preview her in dragon form. And my gnome was like camped in front of Karocta, and I'm like, oh, Karocta's up. I guess I'll list a group, but then I had it listed for like 15, 20 seconds. I got the footage I needed. Nobody had even applied for the group. Nobody was anywhere around, and I was like, I actually really should be editing. I'm just gonna exit the game right now. Otherwise, this is exactly how I get derailed. This is how my video becomes late today. I don't have time for this. Selectively shy, good way to describe it. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's still true. I've been on occasion in situations where I'm trying to make conversation with people that live near me, I guess with neighbors. And I am it's been a long time since I've tried to do that, and I'm reminded of how much I suck at it. I am prone to long, awkward silences, and I think that's fine, but I'm just worried that people think that I don't like them, or that I'm, like, cranky or aloof or mean or something. I just don't want people to think it's a them problem. It's a me problem. Mum said we should do an experiment to see if she was telepathic. I should take the dog out at a particular spot, think a thing, and when I got back, she would tell me what it was. That's actually brilliant. That's really funny. Cloth int stam pants. Man, you get all the drops. You get all of the drops that you would want to have in a different character whenever you're doing this. All right. We've destroyed our seal at the Ancient Flame. Go team. We may as well get an Aeus pendant while we're down here. We're pretty much in the same spot, and I think that I'm at a high enough level to do it safely. You do now have the secret weapon of an adorable puppy. Yeah, hopefully people are just watching the dog and not me. Because I have an adorable puppy, and because I don't have a private place to take him to use the bathroom, so we're on the street for it, because sometimes it takes him a while to kind of get to his point. I am out there for like a while sometimes, but people I think are just getting used to it. How are we doing? Yeah, that'll work. That's exactly what I needed. So there's more rabbit thistlebears and moonstalkers to the south. There's a lot of them east, apparently. There's also, I have yet to do this Blackwood Furbolg camp. But that is something that I'm willing to put off for a little bit. I think that one is reasonably dangerous. People have private places for their dogs to do their business. People with yards. People with yards can take their dog out without opening themselves up to social interaction to everybody within a 4-block radius. But it's good for me. It is better for me and my brain that it is this way because it's giving me practice. Also, everybody's very nice. All of my neighbors are awesome. Everyone's super cool. I'm just learning how to be a human being again. Oh, yikes. I have to have an extrovert to talk to keep the convo going. The wing friend. That's always good. I guess if I loop around the far side, if I go back up north via the wall, I have a better chance of running into moonstalkers. Obsession, thank you for the 5-month resub. It's a process, takes time. I suppose. I'm just really unmotivated to participate in it. I know that it's good for me and it's helping me get better at it. I just have no interest in being any good at it. I'm sure that this will bite me in the butt later in my life when I'm like kind of socially isolated and lonely. But at this point in my life, I have no interest in being good at talking to strangers. It's not something that I really want for myself. I'm not pining for the ability to be socially fluid. I'm just kind of there because I don't have other options. I think that given the resources and the space to live in the woods and be on nodding bases with people that I know, I would just do that and have no further concerns about it. Got some Gorgonzola cheese. Wife never had it before. She thinks it's disgusting. Any thoughts on funky cheeses? It is a divisive one, but I love blue cheese. I haven't had any of the really crazy stinky ones, but I love Gorgonzola. I think it's amazing in mac and cheese. It's really good if you're feeling rich. It is a delicious thing to put into like a mac and cheese, but it's also good on. I like it on burgers. I like it in sauces. I like a Gorgonzola sauce on a veggie burger. That's really good.
I need to target something first.
Fellow stinky cheese lover. Be embarrassing to have to talk to people while your dog's passing solid waste at your feet. Yeah. that's part of it. The other part is that as long as we're talking to people, the dog is kind of distracted. Like he's young. He's a baby. He doesn't always know when he has to go. You have to kind of give him space for it to occur to him that he has to go at this point in his life. And if there's like another person with a dog or another person that's meeting with him, it's fine. We have some time. I don't do a whole lot with my life. I'm never really in a hurry. But he's not really gonna go until not only does somebody leaves, but they're like out of sight around the block. So if you're having a very social day, it can make bathroom visits take a very long time, which is why I have learned that you must never budget only 15 minutes to take the dog out. You need more time than that because you may not get him back inside in a hurry. Not just because of social people. Sometimes the dog just doesn't want to come back inside. And then you engage your long list of strategies as to how to lure the dog to come with you. Does Parmesan count as funky cheese? Not any Parmesan that I've met. I would classify Parmesan in things that Hazel makes up as a nutty cheese as opposed to a funky cheese. I didn't know that brie cheese had histamines in it. Once had garlic gorgonzola fries. It was amazing. I was raised on Limburger cheese. Worst part about Hunter, losing a bag slot to quiver ammo. Best part, feign death. Are you guys getting to feign death levels on your Hunters in Classic? Feign death is at level, what is it, 30? Feign death is at level 30. I don't know about you. I'm not very close. People, it's like, it will, I think, be helpful at that time. But it's like 1% of people that even make it to 30. It's great until they resist it. You'll get there, we believe. I'm curious to see if, assuming that I don't die, which is kind of a bold assumption, but if we assume that I don't eat it, how high of a level will I be on this character by the time that we get to September 5th? Because when patch comes out, I should stream Dragonflight for a bit, especially because there's going to be Twitch drops that are for Dragonflight streams, and I don't know if the category like distinguishes between Classic and Dragonflight, but I think it would be in good faith to, during that Twitch drop period, to revisit retail, remember what's going on over there, and table hardcore for a little bit, at least on the stream. But that's only like another week. That's basically just 2 more days of streams, because I stream Saturday, Sunday, and then I don't stream Monday, Tuesday. So how far can we get today and tomorrow? Only one way to find out. So I'm going into that cave. I'm going to go kind of around. Yeah, I think I'm happy. I'm happy farming these moonkins. Hi, sweetie. I have not done any Secrets of Azeroth stuff. I guess it's 2021. I think that maybe 20. I was doing approximately a level an hour before, but I think that's bound to slow down as time continues on. I think as I get to higher levels, I won't be able to keep up the 1 level per hour pace. Patch is Tuesday, but I don't stream till Wednesday. Tuesdays is one of my days off. I got a sword. Green sword. It is fun being in a level range where you start getting like greens to drop regularly and not just like gray and the occasional white piece of armor. Feels pretty good. Pumpkin spice creamer in the grocery store. Fall is here. I gotta make Moose some pumpkin spice homemade dog cookies. I have a recipe. I just need to like pick up some pumpkin. It was funny. We steamed some veggies for him. We gave him some carrots and a little bit of broccoli to try. And he did not know what to do with the broccoli at first. Like, he ate his carrots right away. He likes those. And then he kind of like looked at the broccoli in the bowl. There was like 3 little pieces of it. And he like takes all 3 of them out of the bowl and puts them in different places. He puts one in his bed next to him. He puts one on the floor next to the bowl. And he puts one like around him on the other side. And then he's just like thinking about it. And like really taking his time. And he'll like put it in his mouth and he'll like put it back down. And he'll put it in his mouth and he'll put it back down. He's like, is this food? Do I eat it? Like I know I eat everything, but this tastes real green. But he did eventually eat it. which is good, because maybe if he gets a tiny bit more veggies in his diet, he will feel less obliged to consume moss and grass and moss. Sometimes it's hard to tell if he's a puppy exploring or if he's feeling a little fiber deprived. I'm looking for earthroot. I swear there was one up here. I guess I'm just gonna leave. That is what I do with broccoli. Moss is a veggie. You know how, like, with a sidewalk that's kind of mossy, there will be like dirt / moss that gets caked up in between the cracks of the sidewalk, and then something will like knock it out of there, and then it's just like a piece of like dry dirt / moss. Moose loves to eat that. It's one of his favorite things. If somebody has recently cleaned their sidewalk and they have left a bunch of moss, like dry moss / dirt chunks on the street, it's worth considering crossing the road, because you're not getting out of there without him consuming a non-zero amount of that, no matter how hard you try. Unless you were to piggyback the dog, it's not happening. Moss is a veggie. Yeah, I think he's going through phases quite rapidly because he's young and it's normal, but it's just funny the things that he considers to be food. And it's amazing the things he'll find out on the street. He picked up an orange peel yesterday, and you could tell that he thought he just had like the most magical treasure ever, because he snipes it. He's carrying it in his mouth, and he just starts fast walking on the leash. Like, we're out for a walk, and he just starts booking it, like he's looking all suspicious, like he's afraid someone's going to take it from him. Being like, I got to get this home. I got to get this somewhere safe where I can stash it. This is a real good one. You can't take this one. You can't take this one. I did not let him eat it because I don't think orange peels are necessarily a good thing to eat. But he was committed to making his breath all zesty. He does eat bugs. He likes ants. He will sit in front of a patch of active ants and he will hunt them with like his nose and his paw. That will keep him occupied for as long as you let him sit there. He's also discovered moths and the flying ants, and he will bite those out of the air too. I was having a real bear of a time trying to keep him from biting wasps when those were super active. We do still have a few of them, but it's not as bad as it was. He was determined to eat the spicy flies, and I was not prepared for like my third day with the dog to be dog got bee stung on the tongue. Wasp stung. So he has yet to succeed in biting a wasp. But he was giving it his best. Hi, kitty. Kitty cat. Cannot recommend eating wasps. Have I tried the new Hearthstone BG patch? I haven't. I've heard good things. People were telling me it was really fun. There's Moonstalker fangs over here. There's also like death. I wonder if that's it might be there's a corpse that has a bunch of murlocs on the coast, and I think if people go there at a very low level, they might be dying to that. No pull harness that hooks to the front. More strength to control their direction. There is a D-ring on the front of it as well as the back of it. I'm not using it yet because of his age and his size. And the fact that he's not pulling, he's lagging behind. So I'm trying to consider where the harness is putting pressure on his body if you are using it to restrain him. He is not so much getting ahead. We're also doing really good with loose leash. Most of the time, he is actually really good. I've trained him a walk with me command, which is where he trots right alongside me. Basically a heel, but it's just got a cuter name. He knows that one. If he starts pulling, I will stop walking, and he knows by now that he has to come back to the heel spot before we keep going. So that part's all fine. But more than him getting ahead, he will get stuck behind. He'll just plant his butt and not want to go anymore. Or like really not want to move on from a thing that he wants to sniff and or eat. And if you're pulling on him in that direction from the front of his harness, you're liable to pull him out of it. That's when he would be able to slip it. So I'm a bit cautious of that. I want Moonstalker fangs, but they're all dead. Rest in peace. Have you gotten the beach sea creatures? At least one of them, I think. But I've heard really good things about the front clip harnesses, and almost everybody that I see walking an adult dog is using one. I see very few people walking with their harnesses clipped on the back, so it's possible that when he's older, we may switch to a front clip instead. Sephirox, thank you for the 8-month resub. Worked at a vet clinic the other day, saw a dog that ate an Ethernet cord. Puppies will eat anything. I don't know why it didn't occur to me before I got a puppy that puppies would eat anything. I knew you had to puppy proof the house, and I knew that like cable chewing might be a problem, but I didn't think they would eat like rocks. I had to take a piece of brick out of his mouth. It was like a crumbly brick, and he picks up like a little piece of it, and he's like, treat? And I'm like, no! Buddy, please! Oh, man. Now, Miss Gear is harness trained, but we've never managed to walk with her, because right around when I harness trained her, she was also almost completely blind. I think that it would be difficult and potentially stressful for her to come out on walks, because she can't see. She likes being in her home where she has it all like mentally mapped out. She does not like being outside of her home where she does not know anything and is in the dark. Dog loves frozen carrots. I think that's going to be the next thing to... He likes raw carrots and steamed carrots. I haven't tried freezing them, but I'm brainstorming things that I can put into his Kong that will take him a while, that won't make a mess on my rug, because I currently have not had any success with teaching him to keep the Kong in one spot. He knows how to go to a spot, and I can give him the Kong there. But, like, he wants to take it elsewhere, and I'm kind of picking my battles right now. There's only so many things you can bribe the dog into in a day, and he's, like, a baby, so there's a lot of stuff going on. I bought some broth that I was going to use to make brothsicles, and I thought, like, I could, like, freeze broth in the Kong with, like, other stuff in there, and that would keep him busy, but he's gonna, like, melt broth all over the rug if I do that. Maybe if I get better at the spot thing, that would work more. There is another quest up there, and there might be some more moonstalkers on the way, too. How do wild animals learn to not eat dirt? I think they just do it, and then they go, blah! I was reading that dirt can have, like, it can tell them things about their world based on other animals that have been around, or... but it's not really safe to let them do it in urban environments because there could be pesticides, chemicals, rat poison, etc. You don't really know what's in urban dirt. I think in the wilderness, it's not that they couldn't get sick, but it's that their evolution has had time to catch up with the stuff they could encounter there, but there's not a whole lot they can do about Roundup. My lab ate his dog bed once. I swear Labradors are the dogs that have the craziest stories about things that they have managed to physically consume. Also, my first character trying to do the water totem quest. Watch out for entangling roots. Couldn't get away. Treat ball that fits the ice balls in. It doesn't make much of a mess. Peanut butter or cream cheese. I've discovered he does like both of those things. I was a bit worried that cream cheese would upset his tummy, but it was good. He loves bully sticks, but I have to be careful with him because if they get even close to mouth-sized, he will swallow them whole. He digests them, which is good, but it's not a thing I want to make a habit of. I have a toy that holds the bully stick securely, but whoever said that had not met Mr. Moose. He's a determined boy. Yeah, you gotta watch out for xylitol. Oh, I should have vendored. I was right by town. I should have vendored. I guess I'll turn this in and then I'll go back because my bags are pretty full here. My silver's doing good though. I'm back up to 26. It's nice making a little bit of extra gold just killing higher level mobs. Oh, kitty, I'm sleepy. I want to get comfy. I got my oldest cat to take medicine directly from a syringe in exchange for some cream cheese. That was like, if it makes him take the meds, then it's fine. Yeah, I think that some of the less healthy treats are. I mean, everybody's gonna have to make choices for their own pets and keep their health in mind. I'm of the personal opinion that all the time, not so much, but on rare occasion, kind of like for people. I eat things that are not good for me, and I don't do it all the time, but I'll do it every once in a while, and especially if you're... Whenever I'm giving Mr. Moose a treat, or especially a good treat, I kind of view it as I am purchasing a repetition of good behavior from him because I'm generally trying to reinforce something that he's done or is doing or whatever it is. Vagabond leggings. Are they cool looking? Yeah, they're blue. You know, it's worth spending some good treats to reinforce things, especially important commands like the drop it. Drop it has saved my hide already. Just enjoying farming moms, TBH. I think that's like my favorite way to level in Classic because like quests are fine and I like that quests give me a framework to use as I farm the mobs. But quests are kind of like, you know, friends that you're not sure if you should have in school. Like sometimes they're going to give you a good framework and you're going to learn some good lessons, and sometimes they're going to pressure you to do things that you really shouldn't be doing yet. You're just places that you're not ready to be. Whereas with mob farming, you're always making gold. You're often getting mats that you can use to craft things, and you're always going to get some experience without having to go anywhere that you don't feel like you should be. A friend of mine adopted from a shelter. 3 to 4 months later, dog was in distress. They found a piece of chain he had swallowed. Yikes. And an extra carrot. Carrots have some sugar, but I'm on board with him having a reasonable amount of them because they're not as much as some things. Also, I like carrots. Also, carrots are cheap. Carrots and bananas are like the two mainstays of like affordable produce that I have yet to see go to prices that annoy me. I can, generally speaking, get like a couple pounds of carrots for a couple dollars, and I can get like a bunch of bananas for like $1 or $2. And there's not many food categories that you can still do that with. So shout out to carrots and bananas for keeping it real. Peppers are in season right now, which helps. I have a little pepper plant, and it has these little super spicy peppers that are just becoming ripe. And they are hot. My mom's partner, I was like talking to my mom and her partner, and I was like, well, I have these peppers. They're very spicy. Be warned. But if you wanted to cook with them or something, I will give you some. I certainly don't need them all. And my mom's like, we don't need peppers that hot. And I'm like, fair. And then her partner's like, but I want to try it. Okay. Be careful. Wear gloves. Good luck. I have not heard back yet. I wonder if they ever ate it. I'll have to ask. Jan's 2 is almost level 30. Not dead yet. Oh, nice. Congrats. I am also not at level 30, but I've passed my previous personal best. Makes me feel like I'm back on track. 534,600N with a brand new sub. Thank you very much. Do not scratch sensitive parts after handling peppers. We wouldn't have learned from experience, right? I pretty early in my last spicy pepper phase, I invested in a big old box of nitrile gloves, and I would use them and then dispose of them for pepper handling. I would use a clean pair of gloves to slice them up, do whatever it was, and then I would dispose of the gloves. It was not worth trying to get it off your skin, because even if you wash your hands, you're not necessarily going to get rid of all of it. You need the pepper follow-up. Simple egg dish. So good. Made it again today for lunch. I'm looking for moonstalkers. They're around here somewhere, I swear. I think I'm feeling incentivized to kill mobs because I see the red names. And I know that the red name just means a hostile mob. And it's a good idea to kill those because that way they're not in your way. I also forgot to vendor. Hazel, please. It's a good idea to kill hostile mobs so that they're not in your way. But like my brain is reading it as the Plater version, which is in Plater. Pardon me. It usually just notes mobs like that when they are quest mobs. So I see the red health and I'm like, oh, I need that one. Super hot pepper seeds in almost everything. Save seeds, dispose of the outer husk. Poor bread. Yeah, I think the cat's not as concerned about waking up the dog these days. the morning, I get jealous of my puppy because right around the time I start stream, he's like ready to go down for his morning nap. And that's ideal, right? That's perfect. He's sleeping, I'm streaming. That's like the ideal schedule setup. But I'm jealous because he looks so comfy. Just want to cuddle the puppy and take a sleep. Just nap right on the floor next to him. Oh, man. Okay. I came back just so I could sell some stuff. So let's find out if we're rich. Let's get rid of some stuff. I do not need this int stam sword. Although I'm sure a warlock somewhere could use it, but not for... I've discovered these greens usually not worth posting. You could make a couple silver if they sell, but that's kind of a big if. So I've been not worrying about it so much. Don't need that. Don't need that. I am keeping the blackmouth oil. +5 int, -3 spirit. Also, it's a offhand and I'm a hunter. I'm good. Don't need those. That. Feed my cat just while I'm thinking about it. I'm carrying around a lot of minor fortitudes. If I use one more, then I'll open up a bag slot.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Just pop that one. Why don't we? Also, plenty of boiled clams. Also, I can eat the last strider stew, and then I can be down to just boiled clams. Is Kira in her chair? She does have a chair. She's not in it right now. She's thinking about coming back. Hello, Miss Muffin. You want to come hang out with me? Hi, sweetie. She's so cute. Sometimes I feel like I don't deserve the cat. She's just such a sweet girl. And I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to do right by her, but it's undeniable that I don't have as much time to spend with her as I used to. And I know she sleeps a lot, and she's all right, but I betcha she misses all the extra time. Hey, sweetie. I'm glad that she hangs out while I'm streaming because Kitty deserves the cuddles. Even in stream in this situation, just want to click the auto sort. Am I making any? I think do you need 80? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not farming wool cloth yet anyway. Okay, where do I want to go next? I am one more Moonstalker Fang. If I can just find it, that will make me feel better about everything. So let's head north and try to get that. Water, good. Oh, yes, she's on her chair. Here, I show. Kira's chair. There's also Murlocs on it, but... I think she slept there last night. I think she slept in that chair instead of coming to bed. I know she was there yesterday evening because I brought her toothbrushing to her. And I like looked for her in the bedroom in her normal spot. And I'm like, where is she? Then I realized cat's in her chair. Should I do it to the north? Yeah, let's go to the north. If I'm trying to basically your quest log will auto sort your quests by difficulty. So the lowest level quests are the ones that are at the very top of the list. I think that's true. It seems to be largely true. So I'm trying to focus on and you know, do my best to do the ones that are up in that range. I'm positive that if Kira missed some having time with you, she would strong arm her way into getting some. She did show up for naps after I got the dog when she had not done so for a while. She had been taking her own naps in her own time and just kind of leaving me to sleep with my book when I was taking a nap on my own. And after I got the puppy, she started like showing up and getting back into bed and cuddling while I was reading my book. So I think you're right. I think she is reclaiming time as she needs to. Don't go to the red spots on the map. I would amend that to, if you're gonna go to the red spots on the map, make sure that you are dramatically over-leveled for them. Sometimes there's good stuff in there. Sometimes it's really great experience. There are good things to be had from the toasty areas. But you gotta be aware of what you're walking into and how dense it is and how fast the respawns are. Do the casters have casts that do disgusting amounts of damage? Etc, etc, etc. More than 2 levels with a group? I would say the group is optional, depending on how you feel about your solo chances. But yeah, 2+ levels is nice. Gives you a lot more hit chance. old boy demanded that every single night when I lay down for bed, within 30 seconds, he's required to be on my chest, under my blanket, forcible about it to the point where I don't bother trying to prevent it anymore. I like Kyrian too. I let her under the covers. Sometimes if she's like, the only time it's annoying is if she won't make up her mind. Like she's halfway between being under the covers and not under the covers, and I'm like holding them up so that she can crawl under them, and she can't decide whether or not she wants to do it. And she's actively standing right in front of my book, so I can't read until she's done. Sometimes I will get impatient. I give her usually a good 30 seconds, and then you give her like the tiniest push like on the butt, and then she'll go brrr, and then she'll like either commit or give up. That's the signal for Kira. You gotta make up your mind. Is that your cat on the Wowhead Feral Trip TPS? She's the daredevil of cats. Eternal White Man, that's so funny. This week's moose stories, please. What else we got? I told you about the carrot tantrum. A lot of it, I feel like, is just a lot of what goes on with him is just kind of repetition and incremental progress. We're all getting used to each other. I've had a revelation where I have learned to kind of let go of the schedule a little bit and just let the dog sleep if he's tired. Between a desire to make sure I'm taking him out enough and make sure he's getting enough exercise. I think I was overdoing we take a walk at this time, we take nap at this time, we go out to the bathroom at these times. You know, it's good to make sure that you know when he went out last so that you can find out if he needs to go. But I have discovered that if he's sleeping and he's gonna miss like his nap time or his out time, bump it back. Don't worry about it. You are not getting anywhere trying to drag a sleepy puppy out the door. If I really kept with it, I could probably enforce the schedule, but my guy needs to sleep. And he doesn't have accidents in his sleep or anything like that, so I think it's fine to just let him nap. That's been the Hazel revelation of the week, is just let the dog nap. Does he have any doggy best friends? He's met a few of the different neighbor doggies. He gets along well with all of them, which I'm very proud of. Although a lot of them are much older, and Moose will be doing like cartwheels and backflips, and the other dog will be like, so you're young. You're a lot. When do you cut this out? Moose is a German Shepherd Husky mix. Visually, he looks an awful lot like a German Shepherd, although as he gets older, more husky features are coming out in him, especially in the color of his coat. He's getting like kind of really pretty gray patches along his ruff and like the back of his legs, and his double coat's coming through. His butt's getting fluffier. Not to roast my son on TV, but the dog booty's getting a lot more fuzz and fluff and fur. His tail has like a little curl on the end of it. It always has, but it's getting bigger. Fluffy butt, corgi butt, just a tiny bit. Things you notice when you're looking at him. At the risk of being mildly gross, his farts are deadly. They are horrific. I have a fan, a little box fan that I sit on the windowsill, and I use it to like help circulate air around, to like move air in, especially if I'm trying to cool the house down at night before it gets warm the next day. And I discovered very quickly that if Moose is having one of his flatulent naps, you need to turn the fan around to direct the airflow to ventilate out. The air will come in the other window. That's fine. You're not going to end up with negative air pressure. You got to get that air out of there. It is awful. It is awful. I'm not judging him for it. Everybody farts. The cat farts. People do. It's fine. But it's a Moose thing, and it's been on several different foods as well. He did it the day I brought him home. When he was still on the food that the shelter was giving him, I switched him to a different food. It continues. I adjusted the food a little further. I got him on the large breed version. Various types of treats taking different types of treats out. Dogs just got stinky farts. It's just how it is. Broccoli will not help. This is fair. Dog has sensitive tummy issues. Oh boy, is it foul. Oh, that's true. I did turn sound up. Let me fix that. I forgot. Audio. Yeah, let's dunk that down a little bit. I am so close to being done with Moonstalker fangs, and I'm just looking for them in all the wrong places, I think. I'm just not finding them. I just want one more so I can turn in that quest and get on to the next part of it. Holy moly. Making me want to play Night Elf. I went Human Warlock. Even birds fart, and it is startling when you first encounter this. I have never heard of that before in my life. That's funny. Really poor drop rate. I'm also just not finding very many of them. I'm finding a lot of bears, decent amount of forest riders. Not so much with the kitty cats. I know there are some. And later on there were some stealth kitty cats. There's that stealth cat rare. There's one. There was the stealth cat rare that we ran into yesterday. That was really funny. Want that rare? To tame or just to kill or what? It like spawned, or it not spawned, it aggroed on top of me yesterday. I was a little bit panicked until I realized that I had enough, I had enough to kill it. Stinky farts are okay as long as the stool looks alright. Yeah, that's what I was reading. I'm definitely a dog problem Googler. I'm like this with everything. I'm like this with all of my pets, and myself. I am a WebMD girl. With it, you know, with grains of salt. Obviously, you can get yourself in trouble with that. But I'm usually will Google and read different accounts of things to kind of get a feel for what is and is not a problem, and what to look for if something could become a problem. And then, of course, you ask the vet too. And it's nice that we're at the vet quite a bit. I'm going to see them again pretty soon because he's just getting a lot of vaccines right now. So you can ask them, hey, does his eye goop look normal to you? Yeah, dog's got goopy eyes. As long as it doesn't look like this or this or this, you're probably all right. Wipe his face with a damp cloth. I do wipe his face with a damp cloth. He's like, Mom, stop. But he gets all his eye goop to go away.
I need to get closer.
What level are you? Old man eyes can't make out little numbers. 16. Still 16. It's the same level I started the stream at, but we are creeping up on a higher level. Very slowly, because as you can see, some of these mobs that I'm killing don't give me experience anymore. But boy, do I feel safe. Yeah, you're right. This drop rate sucks. I've killed like 3 or 4 of them, and I can't get this last one. Let's go try over here. Is there a thing like cat flu in dogs? It's a good question for a vet. I don't know. Cat gets eye goop in one eye. Yeah, Moonstalker fangs. This quest sucks. Kennel cough. Bordetella. They can vaccinate for that one, but although just to help, think something to watch out for. Doc had to get a flu shot for boarding purposes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe that's what we mean. Usually too hard to clean it off her, but she'll rub it off somewhere. I find myself sometimes... I should stop talking about this. This is getting gross. I was gonna say, I find myself like I clean Mrs. eye goop, and sometimes I'll just kind of wipe it off with my hands. But then I have like a giant eye booger on my fingers, and I'm like, okay, I guess I have to get up and go actually wash my hands now, because it's not just like a tiny bit of crust. You can just be like, dust off and move on with your day. It's like, if I put this somewhere, I'm going to find it, and this is my house. So there's, not that I would do it in anybody's house, but there's really no just like wipe on the pants and move on with your day. You're going to, they're big. As long as you don't talk about toes again. Yeah, no, it's normal. The vet said it looks fine. Some dogs will have more eye discharge than others, especially if they have like seasonal allergies. And there are things to look out for in eye discharge that can potentially indicate problems, but he looked at his eyes and he said it looks fine. Plenty of dogs will have pretty regular eye goo. What are you going to do about the wetlands run? To change the topic. What am I going to do about the wetlands run? My plan was kind of to not. I don't think I have to do the wetlands run. Or I can wait until I get to the level where I could like quest through it normally. I'm 16. I don't see any strong reason to go through the wetlands. Swim it. I don't see anything I need on the other side. Like, there's weapon training eventually. There are some weapons that I can only get weapon training from in Stormwind and Ironforge. But it's kind of not that big of a deal. I'm good for a bit. What zone is after Darkshore? Fairless? Ashenvale. Ashenvale would be after Darkshore. Ashenvale also is another place that I see a wide variety of people die. Yeah, no rush. 35 or 40. Fairless is where I saw the level 42 die yesterday, and I was heartbroken on their behalf. I didn't know them. I didn't know anything about them. I was upset. Join a Deadman's group, get summoned. There's no dungeon stones in Classic. I don't know if Warlocks can summon, but if they could, it would be probably quite a bit above the Deadman's level. I want... Oh, there's one. There's a kitty cat. Remember Fairless being sometime after Darkshore? It is in the same, yeah, it's in the same kind of progression. So much remote heartbreak in this mode. It's a great name. RIP, though. Moonstalker, Matriarch, Darkshore. Yeah, the cats spawn in groups later, and it's kind of stressful. I'm still killing the Moonstalker runts.
I need to get closer.
As a warlock, the urge to sneak a ritual of doom instead of summoning would be so much. Oh man, this last one, I swear well, I was going to swear I've killed 10. I couldn't swear to that. I wouldn't do it in a court of law. I haven't actually been counting, but it's been a few. It's been quite a few. These rock elementals are great to level on. We'll stay here for 10 levels. Every time I find a humanoid camp that I feel like I can comfortably and safely grind that has decent respawns and they're dropping like cloth and greens and silver and stuff, I'm just so tempted to just move in. Hey, there's a Firbolg camp. I live here now. All I want to do is just sit here and shoot things. How you enjoying Hunter compared to Warlock? I do so much more damage on the Hunter. I like it a lot because I do a lot more damage. Also, congrats to me for getting a Moonstalker Fang finally. Holy moly. I'm going to go turn this in as well. And then, where is the Buzzbox, actually? That's not it, is it? No, that's the crystal. Buzzbox is up by the water, and there's also the water sample up there as well, some bears, so we can swing back by the city and then head north after this. Ding 16, congratulations. It is Skull Rock. Flirting with your demise to avoid yourselves between trees without good visibility. Have you fired up Retail to look at the new tender items? Yeah, I did it just long enough to record a clip I could use in the news video. I will care about Retail again. I am pretty reasonably certain. It's just dropped off my brain for the moment. Next week I'll do some Retail streams for patch release. We'll find something to do. Forgot to finish the August Blood Troll monk thing. Oh man. I bet it'll come back eventually. I don't think that'll be your last chance at it. Although it is nice to fill the bar because then you don't have to spend tender on the thing. So I want to go up there. I want to kind of pull these back a little bit.
It is too far away.
Curious about the secrets thing? You're just a classic streamer now. I don't think I could be a classic streamer forever. I don't have enough interest in doing endgame or group content. I don't really have any desire to do dungeons or raid or PvP, so leveling is kind of the whole point to me, which means that there's kind of an end point to this journey. I guess the end point is if I hit level 60, then I go, wow, congratulations to me, and then that character can just retire. Do you think the Lego grind dampened your enjoyment of Retail? I mean, it certainly adds kind of a bad cloud to raid night. Because the only reason that anybody is still showing up to raid, as far as I can see, I'm sure some people are just enjoying the company and re-clearing, but for the most part, It's like I'm keeping the class late because I didn't finish my homework when it's not even my fault that I didn't finish my homework. It's like everybody just wants to take a break and stop raiding. But, oh, Hazel doesn't have her legendary yet. I guess we gotta go kill Sarkareth. Did you get it? No? Okay. It's like, oh my gosh, I just want to, like, stop. And I want everybody else to feel like they can stop. And I don't want it to feel like a bad thing, like we gave up. Oh, man, it's rough. So yeah, that's part of it. I think most of what I was enjoying about retail was I was having a nice time just farming. I was digging the transmog farm. I was chasing all the things randoms. I was getting my Karakta kills in every now and then. It was good. It was nice stuff. Sure, they're happy to support you though, but I get it. They're very sweet. People are definitely kind of burning out. We 9-manned it last night, even though we sometimes have like a 13 to 16 player guild. We had to 9-man the raid last week because people are just kind of working or traveling or just kind of generally speaking going AWOL until the next patch, which is fine. I don't judge anybody for that. I just kind of wish it was me. I'm jealous. I can't. I guess if I dip, then I'm giving everybody else permission to dip because they're only there for me now. Just a bad feeling. Hope you get the legendary soon. Thanks. It makes me tempted to re-roll to a different class that didn't get a legendary. Just so I can not, just so I can have something to heal on next year that doesn't feel like I didn't set up correctly for it. Still be showing up even if you had your legendary already. That's very kind of you. You might be showing up to an empty room though. There may be more people than I think that are willing to keep raiding like continually all year round, but traditionally Carbon has been a very seasonal guild. We almost always will raid for a while, clear the raid, farm for a bit until people kind of have what they need, and then collectively take a break, play other games, just relax basically until the next tier. So, and we're pretty overdue for that break right now. We've almost always hung up the towel by now. What if the legendary's already in your bags? You didn't notice it. I don't know. I think I got pretty much everybody checking the chat log after we kill it. Priest return. Priest return. Gnome return. Gnome return. There's a good hardcore character name. Alright, I'm just here for the Peace Bloom. I don't even need those cats. You get it and it starts the quest automatically. Yeah, but it still prints to the chat log. I'm just so tired. It's not my favorite. No Mageddon. Power friendship, more legendary, don't worry. But then I'm gonna get it, and then I'm gonna have to keep raiding to get like the vestiges that drop off the bosses. I extra don't want to do that. I've had enough Aberrus. It was a great raid. I had a great time. I did a ton of it. Maybe that was my problem. Maybe that was my fault for doing it on so many alts. I did Aberrus on Inksy. I did it again on Allison. I did it a little bit more on Aerith. I rated this tier on alts, and I'm just burned on it now. I don't want to see it anymore. It only takes half a heroic clear. Really? Because the evoker in my group has been doing, and mind you, we haven't done like the full clear. We've been doing skip clears, but we've done like 3 of them now since they got their item, and they're still not done their items. And that would have been 3 bosses, like 9 bosses, which is definitely more than half a hero clear. When is next raid coming? We don't know for sure. Fall, late fall. I'm expecting raid testing to start pretty soon.
How may I
Bad
help?
luck, 0 to 5 or 6 per boss. Yeah, he seems to get like 1, maybe 2, sometimes 0. Maybe he is just getting really unlucky. Stam, int, stam, 2 stam, 2 int. Yeah, I would drop some spirit. I would get some extra DPS if I was going to hit anybody with it. And then I would get 2 extra stamina. I'll do that. I'll wear that. New staff for heirloom. Is now the right time to do an in-depth critique of your warlock death? No. You know what you should do is you should write that critique and you should post it in the comments on the video. And then they can exist there and you will feel like you have expressed it. I know what I did. I want here. I'm not going to make any more Strider stew. It wants apples, which is obnoxious. I make another oily blackmouth. Blackmouth oil. None of my Evoker main readers have it yet, but several of our alts do. Oh, man. Any idea how long we've been going compared to average length? I don't know. A heck of a lot longer than the first tier, though. The first tier, I don't think we did very many clears before we hung it up. I think it was not this long. We're coming up on level 17. I'm going to head north and work on thistlebears, infected thistlebears. I'm also going to go to the river, maybe do some crab chunks off the beach. I am not going in that cave just yet, though. That is a mistake. Hey, happy Uncharted Territory stream. Thanks, Punctualis. I am buying more arrows, and I'm remembering the person I bought them from last time. Crab's good for cooking, too. Yeah. I have 16 of the boiled clams, and you know what? I should probably use them. Do I have any more troll's blood on me? Let's take one of these, and then another one of these.
I cannot use that item yet.
Restock my sharp arrows.
Good luck, friend.
And then eat a fresh boiled clam. My cat is gone. Hardcore cat. Oh no! Can you summon it back? Oh. Have you decided if you're going to make a bank alt, use it to boost new characters? I haven't decided, and I think in this instance, not deciding is a form of deciding. I think I'm kind of deciding to not do that in a way that is wishy-washy enough that I don't feel compelled to justify why I'm not doing it. Not that I need any more reason that I don't wanna, but yeah, there's that. Choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Little tombstone everywhere someone dies. Their corpses linger for kind of an aggressive amount of time. Shouldn't have logged on, went and made toast. I want thistlebears. I need to kill 20 of them. Well, 19 more of them. And that sounds like a lot of thistlebears, but I actually think that I've killed probably more moonstalkers than that. Why did you choose Erlen for the Nilf? I just liked the name. I thought it was pretty. It's short, easy to spell. Corpses kind of added the mood of the game. Leatrix Maps is the world map add-on. And then Deathlog Heat Map is showing me where the dangerous spots are where everybody's dying. Leveled 4 levels. I've been leveling real slow today. I haven't died, which is good. That is something, but I have not been leveling with any degree of speed. Also, I turned off music. What are we doing? What is this, an acapella poetry slam stream? Half-hearted snapping. Fun fact, I actually can't snap my fingers. And it makes me 1% uncomfortable when other people do it. Not that I would ever like say anything or, you know, enforce that on anybody. But something about the sound and the bones involved just kind of makes me want to crawl into my own stomach and go back to bed. Darkshore has pretty music. Neither can I, but I can whistle. Oh, I'm jealous. I can't whistle either. I spent like an actual substantial amount of time as a young person watching YouTube videos, getting tips from friends, practicing, cannot whistle. You'd think that I would have enough enough, I don't know, control of my mouth parts if I was going to sound gross to do it. I was a brass player. I've done a reasonable amount of speech warm up and training. Can't whistle. No good. Doesn't work. No luck. That's just a regular thistle bear. That's not what I need. The sound of snapping isn't the bones, it's the finger hitting the palm. The bones are too close. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Channel point redeemed to read poetry on stream. I mean, the big question would be what... Well, first, it's you're trying to make everybody leave. I was reading a book to my nephew. There's a book that he has. He'll bring you a book when he wants you to read it to him, which is very cute. And he brings me this book, and it's called... Some of you with young children in your life may have seen this one. It's called The Book with No Pictures. It's a white book with black text, and it's called The Book with No Pictures. And the idea of the book is that, and this is kind of the plot of it, that why would a kid pick a book with no pictures? That's so boring. Well, the trick is that when you get somebody to read a book, the person who's reading it has to say anything in the book. So the book like makes you make all kinds of like silly sounds and goofy statements. I think you have to say that you're like a frog or something like that. I forget the exact phrasing of it, but the idea is that you make the book reader makes a fool of themselves for the entertainment of the child that craftily brought them this book to read. But you're engaging, so like you can't you can't not do it. And I remember this quite vividly because one, it wasn't that long ago when I read it, and secondly, there's a bunch of different like funny words that are printed inside the first cover, and then one of them was for whatever reason, B-R-R-R-R-R-R-R-R-A-P. So I picked up the book, and I'm like reading the inner cover for him, and just like, here nephew. My sister looks over like, what are you doing? I don't know what's in the book, man. I didn't write it. I didn't even buy it. I'm just here for nephew entertainment. Hazel Jazz Club stream. Very unlikely, yes. I haven't played in a long time. My chops are gone. I have no musculature left in my face. Play other games off stream? Sometimes. Not all the time. Recently I've been playing more hardcore classic off stream. 3.5 months into Abyss. 3 months in Vault, 2 months in Sepulchre, 2 months in Sanctum, then I got bored. Abyss is far away your longest raid season in the last couple of years. Yeah, that sounds right. That book sounds like a scam. The kid loves it. He adores it. It's worth it because it's really fun. Can't roll my R's. Yeah, I can't snap, I can't whistle. I can roll R's. It does not do me an awful lot of good in my wildly English-speaking life. I'm not bilingual in any way, shape, or form. I know a couple of words of French, and I know a couple of words of Korean, and it doesn't do me any good at all. The skills we get. I feel like we're about 30 seconds away from the who can roll their tongues thing. Yeah, I did change my WoW client to Korean for a bit in an attempt to help reinforce my language learning before I realized that I record in my client and that to my widely English-speaking audience, having the entire thing in Korean wasn't going to help very much. It also didn't teach me anything. Esport aspirant days. Raise one eyebrow? Unlikely. Nope. I can wink, but I can't wink with any degree of charm. I have no amount of flirtiness contained in my wink in any way, shape, or form. I cannot waggle my ears. I don't know how people do that. It freaks me out. This is a nice area. There's lots of bears to kill. There's some herbs to pick. Happy with this. I mean, these are regular thistle bears. I need the rabid ones, but what do you do? These are slightly higher level mobs. 12s to 14s instead of like 10s to 12s, so... a few of these may actually do some damage. I could learn a new rank of Raptor Strike. I think I just decided not to. Same thing with Mongoose Bite. I have yet to lay an immolation trap. I did spend 16 silver to learn how to immolation trap, and then I didn't do it. Here. Let's do it. There we go. He's on fire. Congratulations. Congratulations to Bear. You mean learning how to say arcane shot in Korean is not helpful? Not so much. Neighbor in the US worked as a speak pathologist. She dumped me functionally bilingual. Haven't been raised as bilingual, but Norwegian school starts teaching English in day one anyway. I mean, you did a heck of a lot better than me. Canadian schools, I don't know if they still do, but I think they must. I think it's legally required. They will teach French. You take French classes in school in Canada because it's one of our national languages. I took French all the way through grade 12. Doesn't mean I can speak any French. I can catch a couple words here and there if it's coming at me slowly and in a method that is designed to speak to children. But aside from like a tiny bit of vocabulary, I'm not impressing anybody. Although I don't really have any. I don't really have any French-speaking people in my life either. It's more of a cool skill that makes you eligible for government jobs than anything in my own very, very limited sheltered circle. Took French up to grade 9. My school, you had to take a language all the way through. Well, you had to take a language through, I think, 10 or 11. After 8, I think you were allowed to choose a different language. So some people stuck with French, some people switched to Spanish. My school also had an Italian teacher. Some people took German. Some people took Japanese. I stuck with French. I did help my bestie study for Japanese, but I don't think I learned anything. I stuck with French. I think mostly just because I'd already started with it. I was just too lazy to switch languages. And then I think the reason I took French 12 was just because I needed another credit. And it was the only class that like fit my schedule. There was just not a lot else I could do at that time. Didn't speak French functionally until my 20s, despite growing up in Montreal. Grew up in an overwhelming Anglo area. We have French immersion schools here. So some people will get put into those as children, and those people actually learn French because they are not allowed to speak English while at school. So that's where most of the actually bilingual young people come from, as they went through various French immersion schools. I don't know if any of them were public schools, though. Maybe they were. I don't know. Wasn't me. Had to take German starting grade 1. Granted, that was in Germany, but still. I know that when we take English, or when we took English in Canada, which is an English-speaking country, in very low levels, it was like spelling and grammar, but pretty quickly they advanced to just it being basically a literature course. They would teach you poetry, prose, plays, novels, etc., etc. Audible, thank you for the 34-month resub. Happy Saturday, Hazel and chat. Happy Saturday. Book reports, that kind of thing. But it wasn't so much about the language as what was being done with it at a certain point, I think. What sort of things did you do during gym class? Ugh. Nothing I cared for. Running laps. There were different units, it's volleyball time, it's dodgeball time, it's badminton time, it's basically anything that you could do in a gym or in a field without a whole lot of equipment, like medium amounts of equipment, right? Like there was basketball hoops, so there was like a basketball class. Or not class. It was basically basketball day. Like, they didn't teach anybody how to play the sport. They, wheeled out a bunch of balls, said, have at it, maybe organized games with, those little jerseys that they make you wear to, distinguish the teams. Maybe. And then just kind of, set you off at it. It was always my greatest pet peeve with PE class, is they never taught you how to play the sport. There was no instruction whatsoever about the rules. They just kind of assumed everybody knew the rules, and I didn't know the rules, and it was very embarrassing. And, yeah, I not a big fan of that. But there was no nothing swimming, nothing for a pool, no tennis, Um, no ice sports. There would be the occasional skating day, but not to the point that there was like school organized hockey or anything like that. Hockey was more of like a community thing. I did not partake. Wheelie carts you had to sit on. I remember wheelie carts. I don't know if I remember sitting on them. I gotta get down to the beach. Hated PE until high school, where our teacher actually taught us how to do the things. Yeah, that would have been better. I mostly remember PE being, I don't want to change around other people. I don't want to be sweaty for the rest of the day because there's no showers, right? Like that was awful. Like you'd have PE first thing in the morning. Oh dear, this is a level 20. I might need to run. You would have PE first thing in the morning. Tuna, are you gonna be okay? Tuna might be okay. Tuna's at 87%. Tuna's dodging. Tuna's a legend. I'm gonna refresh the Serpent Sting. Look how much I'm missing because of how high level this character is. Okay, we're gonna mend pet. We're also gonna bandage Tuna. That's funny. I think that would have absolutely murdered me if I pulled it without a pet. Alright, watch out for the crabs. Some of them are way too big for me. Good too. Those carts were called scooters. It's kind of awakening a memory in me, but I would be lying if I said I knew exactly what you meant. No, if Tuna dies, it is not permadeath. Yeah, level 19 is yellow but above me. Level 17 seems more reasonable. These are widely varied crabs. Good kitty. Oh man, I need a new food buff soon. I'm pretty sure this is where we're gonna go take our water sample. Ability that can proc in their auto attacks. It does 200 damage. Oof. Yeah, that could have been spicy. Boy's getting really mad during games. Did I get the sample? I did get the sample. Here, let's feed Tuna a catfish. Stretch break. This is probably a safe place to be, but I still kind of want to go back to like town first. What time is it? 10:30? I haven't been up yet, have I? It's a bit strange. Fish for electropellers. Yeah. Maybe later. Let's see here. Yeah, level 17 should be fine. Tuna? I should miss less. Oh, you know what I should do for these like higher level crabs? Immolation Trap. It does a ton of damage. 105 damage. Whereas Serpent Sting is only like 40 at this particular level. But yeah, that was much better. It still hurts. Tuna still takes a bit of a beating, but I could log out. That's true. I just don't want to yet. Horde Hunter is still 12. I haven't been playing it. I'm level 17. When did that happen? I'm giving Tuna the last rank of Thick Hide. It's working out so far. I'm happy with it. Level 15. We can do that. Hang on. Hold up. Tuna, abort. At least I have a lot of room to work on the beach. When you run, can't interact with the mob for 31 yards or the leash resets? Oh. Tuna taunt! Tuna taunt! Yeah, I do not have the same armor rating that my pet has. $130 experience, though. Not mad at that. Plus, this actually has a reasonable drop rate. Now I want a tuna sandwich. Can you check the combat log if the crab crushing blowed you? I don't see it. No. Melee swings. It did crit me once. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, though. Yeah, I think today might be a back to bed later kind of day. Elder Thresher. That's probably worth being cautious of. Four of 6. That's why the defense stat is important. Crushing blows an extra layer of extra damage, can then also crit. What is my defense stat at, by the way? It must be a bit behind. I haven't done it in a little bit. 67 of 85. I would like to get that to like 75 at least. Sometimes I think my bags are filling up way too fast and I'm like, oh, it's just that clams don't stack. Although, I guess I only had one of them. I also have a recipe for crab cakes. I can crawler meat, not crawler claws. Crabs can drop. Crabs can drop crawler claws, crawler meat, and clams that then have clam meat. There's an awful lot of shellfish coming out over here. Level 17. I also only managed to kill 7 of my 20 thistle bears. Yeah, if this quest wasn't so forgiving, I think I would come back to it later just because of the speed of killing the mobs. But the drop rate seems actually pretty decent. No shortage of bears. It's funny. It's not funny. I'm mildly... Am I annoyed? I guess it's a silly thing to be annoyed by. But there's so many regular thistle bears in and amongst the rabid ones that I kind of just want the rabid ones to just go like chomp on everybody a little bit so that there's more bears that are the ones that I need to kill. You know, isn't it supposed to be contagious? Oh, dear. It's not very nice of me. I just don't need the regular thistle bears. Yeah, they do spawn pretty fast. I don't really need these mobs anymore, but I'm not prepared to try to thread the needle in between them. Grizzled are the next bears. They're annoying because there's not many. One day, I'm gonna dive in that shipwreck, but not before I get the strangle cup to make myself that water breathing.
That's still recharging.
Poor bears. You ever watch like a nature show that is about bears and start thinking about how much bears look like dogs? I understand that bears are not dogs and that bears are very different from dogs, but especially in the face, bears kind of just look like dogs that played with the character creation slider in Skyrim and just like made themselves kind of funny looking. Like actual bears, not as much the WoW ones. If not friends, why friendship? Chunky fluff dogs. Ever seen a bear up close? No. I don't even think I've seen a bear in... Well, no, that's not true. I've seen bears at the zoo. I've seen bears at the Portland Zoo. Those were rather chunky bears, although it was winter, so maybe they were just getting ready to hibernate or something, but I did not get the impression that they were bears that were living their wildest and most true life. Oregon Zoo bears kind of fat and lazy. Yeah. I'm sure they're very sweet. I don't mean to shade the bears. It's not their fault. Go up island black bear is very common. I read somewhere, I heard on Alone when I was watching the television one time that Vancouver Island, especially North Vancouver Island, has one of the highest black bear densities of the whole world. Like, there's more bears per square kilometer here than there are almost anywhere else, if not anywhere else. I just don't go out that much. Cougars. Yeah, there was a news item recently because a woman who lived not that far from here was just kind of like driving home, and there was like a cougar walking down the street, and she was like, TikTok? I'm sure they notified whoever is in charge of relocating it, but it was on Bear Mountain. So like, it's not like we're kind of on top of them here. Not at all surprised. And a bear that liked the compost pile, one of the places I lived growing up. That's dangerous when they start to associate people with food. That's when you get problem bears that need to get relocated really, 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 really far if they're lucky. Warned of aggressive moose, other wildlife though. Visiting Banff. The clams. 10:47. Is this all part of the same city? I guess so. I've got a quest to turn in about the river. I bet you I can do 18 today. I think today might be a 2-level kind of day. It would be cool if I could make it to 20 tomorrow. How long does it take to learn Bite? It's a bit random. It's an RNG chance for you to learn it whenever the pet uses it near you. It took me about 5 minutes, I would say. In my last classic experience, sometimes it was almost instant. Sometimes it would take like 10 or 15. It shouldn't be a crazy amount of time, though. I think that the next thing that I tame for a new rank of spell, there is a thing in Darkshore, but it's like late Darkshore. It's like closer to level 20. More or less tamed chipmunks wanted to get into our car. It's cute. Chipmunks, I feel like we had this conversation recently, are, funnily enough, one of the creatures that are not present on Vancouver Island specifically. So in Vancouver, yeah, but where I live, incidentally, no chipmunks, no coyotes, no moose, some things that just aren't naturally here just because we're that separated from the mainland. Live forever, Hazel. Careful of saying things like it would be cool to get to 20 tomorrow. It's dangerous.
What brings you here?
Oh, I get a rep discount now. 45 copper for my stacks of sharp arrows is better than 50.
I am honored.
I got the in. I know a guy. I got an arrow guy. Brownish gray squirrel without the fluffy tail. Go for a chipmunk or some sorts. There's a lot of small rodents that are surprisingly distinct. I remember I saw a real cute mouse looking thing once, and I looked it up, and it was a vole. And I was like, I've never seen a vole before. It was adorable. Mostly because it wasn't in my property. I'm sure whoever owned the field that was being decimated by voles was not pleased about it, but that was like not a me problem. Filled cleansing bowl. You betcha. Adorable. I love voles. It was so cute. Although I honestly think like mice and rats are really cute too. As long as they're not on my property. Like if they're not in my unit, you know, surprising me at the garbage dumpster or anything like that. As long as it's not that sort of situation. If I just see like a rat cross the street at night, which is not that uncommon. It's like, oh, buddy. Hi. It's like just not on top of me. Quick, undermine the vole. You have no chutzpah. Shucking gloves. I guess if my other gloves don't have any stats in them at all. Wearing int gloves. I mean, they have stamina. That's something. I have never seen a hummingbird moth, I don't think. no big predators where I'm from, I would die instantly if I ever went exploring in another country. I wasn't afraid of sharks until I watched a shark attack show, and now I'm mildly concerned about sharks. Which is funny because it's not like I swim in the ocean, but I used to think, man, maybe one day if I went to where it's warm, I might like to swim in the ocean. And then apparently that's where, that's kind of where sharks like to be and to feed, is where it's warm. Oops. Whoopsie-daisy. Let's vendor some stuff, and then I should take a stretch break. I should go pet the puppy, walk around a bit, take a sec. All right. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Whoa. This hood is too small to put on without knocking out your own earbud. I'm nothing if not really slick. This is why you do oversized clothes. You can like do things with them. Okay. You know what I want to do? I want to get really cozy, and I want to put up my feet, and I want to go do some rabbit thistleberries. I need another 13 of them. I'm heading up north. If I go out kind of by the beach, I wonder if I'll find
Farewell.
I wonder if I'll find whatchamacallit, some strangle kelp off the coast. Because if I get strangle kelp, oh, rescued sea turtle remains. Where are those? Oh, all the way out there. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's easy. If I get some strangle kelp, I can make some water breathing files. Also 16. Exciting. Nice, Nessa. Bare pants reinforcing the thigh down. Oh, I'm good. I want to make like a bear and hibernate. It's winter time. It's time to eat a ton of food and go back to bed. Oh, boar pants. I was misreading it as bear pants. Pardon me. Boar pants. Tusks, no joke. I was gonna say, didn't that kill one of the kings? And then I thought that was King Robert of Westeros. It's not real history. Song of Ice and Fire. Maybe it killed a real king once upon a time, and that was part of the inspiration for the story. You never know. Are there gonna be murlocs? I think there might be some murlocs. Or something. No murlocs, just a thresher? Alright. The lock died. The lock sadly has left us. She's passed on to the Shadowlands. Game of Thrones spoiler. If you haven't read it by now, you might not have been about to. Is that Strangle Kelp? No, it's just a thing. Hungarian one died to a boar. That's gotta hurt. I have no clever, interesting thoughts left in my head. Wow, getting gored by a boar. That's gotta hurt. Nothing going on up here. Crickets. The symbol monkey that's usually like powering my brain is low battery. Powered down. Is this a good experience? Boots, leather int belt. What's with all the leather int gear? This is all for druids. Give me Agi, please. Oh well. Oh, Tuna, can you learn anything yet? Holy moly. Yeah. Alright. Oh yeah. I guess I gotta learn it myself. Even monkeys need nap. Boar on the floor. You're asking why Night Elf focused area would prioritize druid gear? Yeah. There's Night Elf rogues and hunters too. How come one armor class set up? Why me? that's where I'm going with that. Skip a couple of steps. How come game no make thing for me? Please fix, please. Give thing for me, thank you. Beach secret. Oh yeah, no, there. I'm worried about that boat shipwreck. I'm not going off just yet. Why use many words? Few words do trick. Just gonna start reading messages and go, no. Surely Hunter. Surely Bear hoarding nice new bow. I might need to look into what my next bow is. This one required level 11. It's a decent bow, but like... Here, let's check the database before we leave town. Well, classic. Stream Deck fart. So they have like a list that they recommend, but you can also just kind of go into items, weapons, bows, required level, C17, usable by alliance. Alright, so there are 4 bows in the 14 to 17 range. Let's bring that down to maybe 12 to 17. Required level anyway. Item level, various points. Light bow is a drop. Fine longbow is on vendors. 7.41 DPS. 7.94 DPS. So check the auctions for a light bow. Longbow from vendor. Sold in... Stone Talon. Barrens. Thousand Needles. Westfall. Eek. Ugh. Gross. Also, this is a shocking amount of damage too. 7.5 DPS for a white quality bow. Reinforced bow on vendors. Sold in more places. 34 silver. Darnassus. Yeah, Darnassus. 7.5 DPS. 6.2 DPS. Okie dokie. Just because it's not green don't make it not good. Right? I don't think I'm wrong. I'm not doing Wayland Caverns. I don't want to. Well, I am. You can tell I'm tired. I'm cranky today. I'm going to apologize in advance. Just to everybody involved. He's got a soundboard, little button. Nuh-uh. Yeah, I was up late. I wasn't having a good night. I was kind of hoping at a certain point I would outgrow bad brain days. You know, I've outgrown a variety of other problems in my life. It's not that I don't work on myself, but sometimes you do some work and then you kind of like leave it alone, and then you do some work and then you leave it alone, and then one day you're like, oh, I don't really do this thing anymore that used to be a problem for me. Go me, you know. Sadness. I have not so great news for you. I think it goes the other way. I outgrew biting my nails. I didn't have to work very hard at that one. I used to be really bad for it. I don't do it anymore. Sometimes people ask me how I stopped and I go, I don't know. Time. Have you found a nice guild? Oh, I'm guildless. I'm a lone hunter with a cat. I'm a rogue cat woman. Nartak again. Thank you for the 7-month resip. How's hardcore going today? Any more deaths after the warlock? Not yet. Just that one. Just the one so far. What happened to the warlock was trogs. There's a clip. Old now, hangovers take days to get over. Impressive you could even reach to chew on your toenails. Who said I was chewing on my toenails? There's a visual I can't get rid of now. Yeah. That would be some impressive flexibility. No, people do that like as kids. Like I know young kids are naturally bendier. I feel like somebody probably choosing their toes. Let myself have a bad brain day. Try not to control it. I guess not. Where is it going? It was on the Warriors Terrace, I think. Only thing with guilds and hardcore, put a big fat F when a guilder dies. Yeah, I could see doing a guild if, I have a couple of different groups of friends that, like, if we all, like, make characters together, we would probably set up an actual guild for it. But so far, everybody, like, no one's really agreed on, like, a time. I'm kind of if I'm gonna play with people, I need, like, an appointment kind of person. I know that's high maintenance, but I don't know. If I gotta plan stuff or I just won't show up to it, so hasn't happened yet. Doesn't seem hard to chew on your toenails. I have never tried. I am not sure. I feel like that's kind of a short poem about Twitch chat. I think that kind of encapsulates
What brings you here?
a lot of things. Reinforced bow, yeah. 7.5 DPS. It's only 34 silver. Not that that's super cheap, but it's not super expensive either. I will use it. That is better than my fine short bow. What does that require? Requires level 16, so that's a part of it. Anything else I want to get rid of over here? Don't need those. I'm not cooking with that. Don't need that. I guess I came all the way back to Darnassus. Is there anything else I need while I'm over here? I'm not quite 18, so I don't need any weapons training. My skills. Let's see here. Oh, let's do some alchemy. I think I've got 5 Briarthorn. I could make a few more lesser healing pots. I need to get punched by a crab. I need to go find a nice friendly local crab and just get my lights turned off by it. I wonder if I can afford to sell these. 46 at auction? It's pretty cheap. You need Briarthorn for wisdom too. Wisdom elixirs are int 6 for an hour. Man, I bet you I don't learn anything good and new until like 100. That's okay. Stash a few extra of these away for now. And some of this.
Farewell.
Do a little bit of cooking or something. Looking for something to put on shirts as merch. What Jeff said is something I want to buy. To wear? Oh. 3 points away. Yeah, but I'm out of mats and I don't want to buy any mats. In a nice font. Mm-hmm. Alchemy? Cooking. Cooking? Cookies? Cooking. I need mild spices.
My goods are of the highest quality.
Yeah. 4 silver 50 doesn't sound so bad anymore. Oh, you can get... Oh, it's mana food. I was gonna say, you can get buff food from fish, but that sounds like not what I'm after specifically. Where? I watched a decent amount of Seinfeld earlier this year, and a lot of it was not as funny as I remember it being. But there's one scene where Jerry is trying to find out whether or not Elaine was intimate with this guy that she's seeing, who is also like a friend of Jerry's. And Jerry's like trying to beat around the bush. He's like, so did you have, And she's like, yeah. And he's like, And she's like, milk? Cookies? And the way that Julia Louis-Dreyfus said that will live in my head for the rest of my life. It's the best. I can't let it go. I can't move on. I'm gonna be right back. Okay. I watched the entire Seinfeld series. No, I don't know how many seasons in, and I just couldn't take it anymore. It's like parts of it are funny, and parts of it are just like so insufferable. Or like the joke is just people being horrible to other people, or just like really, I don't know. It's just a bit gross. It's also, Friends also doesn't age perfectly on a rewatch, but I get more of a kick out of that one than Seinfeld these days. I don't even want to think about the other sitcoms of the era. What am I doing? I was cooking. Oh, I wanted to see if there was a new cooking recipe I could train, but for the most part, I just got to get back and start grinding bears again. But yeah, if you think Friends is bad for that, Seinfeld's 100 times worse. Hello. George in particular, I was like expecting to really enjoy the character of George in a Seinfeld rewatch, and he is just so awful to the women he dates, and it's like part of the joke to some extent. Like, it's not like that the show is endorsing this way to behave, but George is so horrible to the women that he dates that it's just like gross to watch. It just doesn't feel good. Can't stand George. I like I think the actor's really funny, and I've enjoyed him in other stuff, and I was expecting to, like, because I had like nostalgic memories of watching Seinfeld with my family as a kid. I thought I was gonna get more out of it than I ended up doing. It's a comedy, not an instruction manual. That's fair. That is a valid thing, a valid point of view. But to different people at a certain point, it's not that I want it to be like a biblical allegory. It's that sometimes the underlying energy of the joke just gets so gross or so inconsiderate that it just feels bad. Like, you're just not laughing anymore. It's not really funny. You just feel terrible. And different people will have that reaction to different levels of comedy. It doesn't mean that they shouldn't make it. It just, it's just some things just aren't going to be for you. And I guess I'm just glad that in 2023, more of the things that I tend to come across are a bit more for me. We've let some of the jokes that used to just give me bad feelings go away. Yeah, the ick, exactly. Don't get me wrong. I have no need for the characters I watch in entertainment to make morally, upholdable decisions. Sometimes it's the opposite. I am a big fan of when you're in the right mood for it, the trashiest of Netflix reality TV, where people are just making bananas choices and then finding out what happens. Like, I'm guilty. I'm a consumer of that stuff. I never watched It's Always Sunny. I never saw it. I have not seen Love Island either. I've seen Too Hot to Handle. I'm actually watching the most recent season now, so no spoilers. And I watched The Ultimatum for the first time. the queer love season. So I haven't seen any of the straight love ultimatum or however it is that they brand it, but I watched the women only version, and that was bonkers. It was like so messy and so insane, but also really interesting to watch people navigate these like obviously kind of toxic relationships. It was a little heavy, and I cried a variety of times towards the end, but it was I'd never seen anything like that. The gimmick of the ultimatum is that all the couples going on the show have one half of the couple that says, we need to get married or I'm moving on. And the other part of the couple wants to be in the couple but doesn't want to get married. So the idea in the show is that they do trial marriages first with other people that are also on the show. Like they all switch partners and then live together for a few weeks. And then they switch back to their original partner. I think that part's just for drama. I don't think it's very educational. I guess just to see what life could be like with a different partner. And then at the end of it, they either get engaged or they break up or they, I don't know, start dating somebody else from the show. But holy moly, was it a good watch with queer women. It's Me, You're the Dog, Animal Planet version. Heartstopper is so cute on Netflix. That one was on my list. I should get back to that once I'm ready to start watching wholesome things again. Where is Tuna? That's a good point. Tuna, there you go. Tuna, get over here. Beach sea creature. Sunny feels more like dark comedy. They were not supposed to be intimate in the trial marriage. The way the show phrases it is like very strange. I'd never seen any of the other seasons of it, so I don't really know if like to what point the mock marriage is supposed to be taken seriously. I guess every couple is supposed to like talk amongst themselves about their own boundaries and how real they want to make it before they go in, and then hopefully respect those boundaries. They don't show a lot of that part. They mostly show people, you know, doing various amounts of things through fairly creepy bedroom webcams that I feel like is not a good feeling. But then having various amounts of fallout with their partners. You got so distracted with chat, you let Barry go, "Hey you look tasty." Smack you, wipe you right in the face. Hey look, I need one of these bears. I should be more careful. Night elf hunters are dropping like flies in Darkshore. I'm a level 17 hunter. That could have been me. Is that the show with the one woman averse to conflict flees the room when something comes up? Yes. Yes, their name was Aussie. And it's so interesting watching multiple different conflicts between romantic partners like that, because you kind of, the natural thing to do is to try to like pick sides and to be like, well, this person's being reasonable and this person is being unreasonable for XYZ reasons, because it's a lot easier to see that kind of thing when you're not emotionally involved in it. But as you show different, different incidents, sometimes you're like, oh wow, they're both a mess, or like they're both trying so hard and doing good things, but it's just not matching up. Or sometimes people actually manage to listen to each other and it's a miracle. But yeah, that was something. Stopping to chat, indeed dangerous. As opposed to non-creepy bedroom webcams. Yeah, I have a hard time believing that everybody on that show knew that footage was fair game to be used in the Netflix televised show when maybe they knew, but holy moly. So those are level 13 Murlocs. That's a caster. I'm going to see if I can do anything about pulling them back, or if they're going to social pull here. Let's take a look at this. Looks like just that one. Most of the classes in the recent Deathlog are pet classes. Man, it's the Warlock again right now. Holy moly. I guess that's a double print. That was a double chatlog print, or Deathlog print, but holy moly. Sometimes it's not because a class isn't safe, it's because more people are playing it because they think it's safe, and then nobody's like 100% safe. So even if you're playing the safest class ever, you could still die. You make it sound like a show that's good for discouraging people to form romantic bonds. The parts of it that I'm talking about, certainly. But I don't know. I think it was just an interesting view at how different people navigate conflict, which is, I guess, interesting to me because I've never been very good about conflict. It's something that I know about and I struggle with and I work on it, trying to figure out ways to, have discussions about difficult things. So it's interesting to see the kind of spectrum of how other people handle that. But also the other thing I really liked about watching it was just that I just have not seen very many queer women on television, especially not in like shows and environments where they're exploring their relationships with other women. It's not something that gets a ton of screen time. And it was cool to see like just a wide variety of, well, I guess not a wide variety, but like some people navigating their relationships. I've watched enough straight dating show trash that I'm looking for variety, and I want to know more about how different people live lives and fall in love. But yeah, all the reality shows are like insane by default. That's kind of part of the spectacle of it. Why don't I stream on YouTube? I used to. And then I used to go back and forth. I felt like it was good for me to pick one platform and focus on it, so I wasn't trying to juggle two chats. And I picked Twitch instead of YouTube because, to be quite frank, even though I get more viewers on YouTube, I make more money for the same time on Twitch because of Twitch Prime, and because of the way that subculture is encouraged here. YouTube has a lot of great monetization tools, but it's just more ingrained on Twitch, so I earn more for my time. The information you're getting might not be exactly accurate. Well, it's true for everywhere. It's especially true with TV, and particularly with reality TV, but that doesn't mean that it's not a point of view. I'm not saying I should build my whole life identity off of it, but it doesn't mean I'm not curious to see. Did you say Twitch Prime, the free monthly sub you can use in your favorite streamer with an Amazon Prime membership? That's the one. Also lets people redeem goodies for their favorite games. There's some Buccaneer slops, I think. Oh no, that's coming as a Twitch drop. That's not a Twitch Prime. It's the tabard, I think, right now for Twitch Prime. That's the one. Just bullying these gray bugs. How much do you make from streaming? Enough to pay rent, which I appreciate. Doing all right. Right, Jax, thank you for the 2-month resub. I guess enough to pay rent in combination with what I make from YouTube. I think that if I only streamed, I could maybe make rent, but I wouldn't eat very much. I'm living within my means, but definitely when it accounts for both channels of income. You're at 17. That's amazing. Thank you. I should try and make it to 18. I'm being a little bit... I'm in a fairly safe area. I'm just trying to kill rabbit thistle bears right now, and I'm not finding very many of them. But I should probably try and pay a little bit more attention. Does Moose eat more than you? Moose does not eat more calories than me. No, Moose does not eat more than me. Later in his life, he might, actually. He might eat more than me later in his life, depending on our various levels of physical activity. 40 minutes for 2/3 of a level. Yeah, if we make it, we make it, and if we don't, that's okay too. Have you thought of posting short videos in TikTok for extra revenue? Kids love that. Yeah, the ideas come up. I don't think it's as easy as that. I don't think it's as easy as just post a short video and then you make money. I think especially on TikTok, people that are making money on TikTok are doing sponsorships. I barely do sponsorships on my primary platforms, let alone trying to expand onto a secondary one to then solicit things to promote. I'm sure I'm shooting myself in the foot in a few ways, but I'm not trying to. It just doesn't seem like my thing. Has Moose had any people food? He gets some carrots. He tried some broccoli. Peanut butter. He had a little peanut butter in a Kong once. Gave him some cream cheese in the Kong. That went over very well. But not like off of my plate or at the same time as me. I'm trying to build some boundaries between these are things that you get. These are treats. These are dinner. Here's your kibble. And then when I'm eating, you're not eating from my plate. Because I would like for him to give me some peace during dinner time. and to not always expect that he's going to get something. So he doesn't eat out of people's dishes. He doesn't get handouts. He doesn't get table scraps. He does get crumbs if I drop anything, and I'm not very fast, but picking battles, you know. I have not been... He often eats before us. I think that a lot of the theory behind the make sure you eat first has been somewhat discredited by more recent research. It's tied to a lot of the very dated dominant theory style of dog training that if it works for people, that's great, especially if they're doing it in a way that's healthy for them and their pet, but it's not something I'm currently engaging in. Dogs love sugar snap peas. Oh, me too. Is that a thistlebear? That was a rabbit thistlebear. Hey look, there's another one. We're finding them. Tend to let our cats eat their food before us. They're distracted and full enough they don't become jerks by taking our food. Yeah. Same logic applies to dogs. It is easier to have him settle down and be polite during our dinner if he's not starving. Not super easy, but easier for sure. Dog's got a tummy on him. Oh yeah, there's more thistlebears up here. What's your slash played? Want to see the Hazel Warlock Death slash played milestone. We are up to 15 hours and 30 minutes, so I think we have passed that milestone now. 15 hours and 30 minutes. I've slowed down a lot. I also spent some time crafting in town. That'll tax some, I don't want to say hours, but hours on too. Okay, we gotta be careful here. There's a little bit more mob density, and some of these are yellow quality, yellow difficulty. Some actual Moonstalkers and not just Moonstalker runts. These are the number 38 deadliest things in Azeroth. And there's like thousands of mobs in Azeroth, so that's not nothing. Dog was weird like that, would ignore steak leftovers in a plate, grab the napkin next to the plate. I have had to trade him. I need to be more careful where I put down my cloth napkins. I've had to trade him for them a few times. He just likes chewing on fabric. So I'll trade him for like one of his fabric toys, so he has fabric to chew on, just not my napkins.
It is too far away.
Not a Briarthorn? It is a Briarthorn. Do I want to rebuff? I don't... I'm getting whiny. I'm getting cranky. Yes, I do. I wish I'd thought of it myself. I think I need to wrap up soon. I don't think I'm going anywhere good with this. Let's make some more defense files. I don't have enough earth root. I can't do that one. There's some quests up there, but let's just try to get 4 more thistlebears. Kanar, thank you very much for the 13-month resub. Unbearable with the bear farmer. I get to chill today. I don't really have anything going on. That should be good. Nice walk, maybe. That's usually a good idea after a bad brain day, is just to make sure you're getting enough exercise. Usually if I reflect on it, I'll notice that any time that I've been not doing so good can be tied back to a couple of different factors, but one or two of them are diet quality and exercise amounts. They kind of sneak up on you. And it's a bit self-fulfilling too, because when you're not feeling very good, you don't really want to eat healthy or work harder to cook things or like go out and prioritize exercise. Your first instinct is just to kind of become a lump. But I find that becomes a little bit of a vicious cycle because the lump does not make me feel any better. Nutrition, exercise, sleep. I would add hormones to that too. True for many people, but many people of various body types, but also various conditions that can exacerbate that. It's good. No XP in Classic for collecting herbs. Did you ever have the Rona? He asked intrusively. Statistically, probably, but never to my knowledge. I've had a variety of colds. And after, like, at first, I have test kits at home. So for a while, every time I got, like, the hint of the sniffles, I would do a Rona test at home. I never tested positive, but also after a while, I kind of stopped testing, and I would just stay home for a while. I would just isolate preemptively and not even bother. So I'm sure it would be weird if I had never had it by now, this many years in. But to my, I've never had, like, I've never tested positive. I've never known that I had it if I ever did. Oh, it's Silver Leaf. Is there a named kitty? Humar the Black Lion is in the Barrens. There's a ghost cat you can get maybe a couple more levels up that's in, these look like they could be dangerous. I'm gonna leave. There's a ghost cat that you can get up in the ruins of Mathestra. I'm good with Tuna, though. I'm sticking with this kitty cat. That's my cat pet. Yeah, I live a fairly naturally isolated life to begin with. However, I'm not like totally in a bubble, because I see family, and my family, some of them have jobs or have partners that have very public-facing jobs, or just they interact with a lot of people on a regular basis. So it's entirely possible that I could contact something through those people, because I'll see my mom and my sister and their partners and stuff, and they see a lot more people. I'm not in a total bubble, but I do lock down into my bubble if I'm ever not feeling good. Got all the way until May, until they officially cancel the policies before catching it. Loki Raider, thank you for the 11-month resub. The Deathlog add-on's totally optional. It's just for fun stats. It is helpful sometimes because it's also adding this heat map to my map. So it can be very useful to know where the dangerous areas are, and what tends to be killing people. But you certainly don't have to. Totally optional. It is fun, though. Keeps you from feeling too safe. Tuna's hungry. I would also get some kind of add-on that explores your map for you. I'm using Leatrix maps because I needed that in combination with Deathlog in order to get the heat map working.
I can't cast that yet.
I don't know if anybody's rated yet. People do group. You don't have to solo. I prefer to solo, especially on stream, but people will start groups with friends. People will group up randomly with other people in the field to do things like dungeons or group quests, or just to quest in dangerous areas. It's not that unusual to find somebody out front of a cave and then to join a group to go in. The higher level you get, the harder it's going to be to find people to group with, because the more people have died and had to start over. But not impossible. More Briarthorn up this way. So I have killed as many thistle bears as I need. I want that Briarthorn though. Here, I'll show my add-ons here. Let Tuna do the thing. If you want to take a screen cap or like rewind the stream to take a screen cap, that's a list of my add-ons. I'm not actually using weak auras. I just installed them because I thought I was going to need one and then I never did. What's Training is really nice. That shows you an extra tab in your spellbook that shows you what you can train. Questy for finding quests. Leatrix maps. Leatrix Plus gives me a bunch of extra options. Deathlog, Bartender, and then Auctionator. Okie dokie. Macy does. Thank you for the 18-month resub. 18 months? Time flies fast when you love watching your favorite streamer. Oh, shucks. You're going to make me blush. Hazel, how's the dog doing? Dog good. Oh, good. He's really cuddly. You just want to... He's got the best fur. Like, behind his ears and on his neck. He's got like a lot of scruff right now. And he's like filling out his double coat, kind of like from the neck back. Like there's different parts of him are getting fluffier first. And oh man, giving him the neck scritches. He seems to really like them, which I appreciate because I love giving them to him. Holy moly. I don't really need to be over there. Grizzled scalp. That's for the grain sample. I don't really need to be over there. We can go back and turn some stuff in. Actually, we have a decent amount of bag space. I'm pretty surprised by that. If I looked at my quest log, this Furbolg camp down south, that's a better one for me to be at this level. That's a little safer. Because you got to be careful with the camps. You're going to have a lot of mobs. Some of them will be casters usually, and they tend to pull with each other. So it's worth paying full attention when you do that. 7-year-old Basset. Very needy. Won't cuddle.
I can't cast that yet. I don't have a target.
What was the first add-on I ever installed? That's a good question. I was an add-on purist for a while. When I first started playing the game, I was I don't want add-ons and I don't need them. I was that person. I didn't know how to install them. And at the time, I don't know if there was even an add-on client that was very popular yet. So to install and keep them up to date, you had to like extract it to the files to the folder. And I had no problem with installing them, but keeping them up to date sounded really annoying. So I just kind of didn't for a long time. I don't know what the first add-on I got is. I got a heavy short bow to drop. It is a damage loss, but I may actually try to sell that because somebody may pay 10 silver for that. It's you can use it as low as level 10, and that's a decent DPS. It's not as good as the vendor one, but the vendor one's a rare spawn. Yeah, might have been raid count, might have been bartender. What else did I used to use like way back in the day? I'd have to go back and I mean, I don't even have stream VODs. I started playing in Wrath, but I didn't start making content until MOP. Mine was details. Recount, DBM. I definitely resisted DBM for a long time. I think I resisted recount for a while too because I knew I wasn't going to do very good numbers, so I didn't want to know how bad they were. I was in DPS meter denial for a while. Oh, you know what it might have been? Grid. I had grid. I remember setting up grid, and then I tried Healbot, but I hated it, so I got rid of it. I set up grid because I was healing. It was Cataclysm when I first started, I think, getting into add-ons. I was healing, and I really wanted to be able to track, like, various... I remember, like, messing with the settings and being like, okay, so if I put a blue triangle in the left corner of the frame, that means I have this dot up. Or, like, a curse, and then if I put, like... I was, like, trying to, like, make it way too custom, basically. But it was back before raid, like, Blizzard official raid-style party frames. And I, like, needed it to heal groups. I don't know for sure if that was Cataclysm. But it was definitely a long time ago. I haven't used an add-on like that for a long time. I don't remember exactly when I started enjoying the default raid-style party frames or when they added them, but I got on that train pretty fast. Looks like I have 2 pretty reasonable quests to turn in. And some stuff to vendor. Not mad at that. Can I survive? I'm sure I can survive this. There's like a little... Yeah, we're fine. I've been going all the way around because I didn't want to take any fall damage, but I think that was a bit extra. Quest turning up north. That's true. That's a breadcrumb quest sending me to a higher level questing area, though. I'm going to save that one for later.
Greetings. Till next we meet. Ishnu Allah.
You'd be surprised at how far you can fall in Classic. All I know is I've seen death logs of fall damage. I wonder where people die to fall damage most often. I guess the elevators in Undercity. And then maybe like the tree, the beginning of Teldrassil? Maybe? I don't know.
Elune be with you.
Couple silver? Off the Mage Tower in Stormwind. Elevator boss, no joke. I am terrified of the Undercity elevator. I've never been to Undercity in Classic yet.
I'm listening.
I haven't made an undead. I was gonna make an undead warlock, but then I was looking at the racials, and then I decided to go and do a orc warlock instead because I really wanted the extra 5% pet damage they get, and also because I thought the orc looked kind of cool. I liked her hairstyles and piercings and stuff. I'm gonna need an undead character at some point.
Stars guide you.
Oh, it's a scroll of agility. Do I want to go back to town to like post some stuff? I guess so. We may as well. I don't think I'm gonna make it to 18 today. I think I'm gonna make it up 1 level, 1.5 levels for a nearly 3-hour stream. But we did it safely. I'm gonna head back on up here. I'm gonna take my time wrapping up stream. I am gonna wrap up a bit early. I'll pay out the prediction now because I am not planning on leaving town, so it would be pretty, unless I drown. Shouldn't die. Should be fine. Let's choose outcome. No way. Invincible. Prediction complete. Thanks for believing in me today. Not a race until you make it one. True. Everyone's already made all the jokes about undead not being possible to be created in hardcore. You know, I actually hadn't thought of that. I hadn't heard one yet. However, I have been not in trade chat or general chat, so maybe the maybe the undead starting area general chat's just full of it, but I haven't seen it yet. That was a new one for me. Still alive as the robot sings at the end of Portal. Closing in on 1,000,000 channel points. What I want to do, I want to sell this. Alright, try and sell this. I'm too scared to use the Agi scroll. It would be really good for me, but I'm just gonna like carry it around. I might try and post it. Get a couple silver for it instead. I would just end up carrying it around endlessly. You know what's actually really exciting is at level 20, I'm gonna be able to train... At level 20, I'm gonna be able to train... aspect of the cheetah. I don't know how much I'm going to use it for getting around in the world because it's a bit dangerous, because if you get hit, you will be dazed, which could be quite spicy. But if I'm certainly running around town, 30% movement speed sounds like a vacation. Got correct in 42 attempts. Congrats, Haley. That's fantastic. Gotta go fast. Yeah, Portal seems to be a favorite for a lot of people, but I have come to understand it's never going to be for me because of the double whammy of puzzle game with intense motion sickness. I think I actually own it. I got it on a Steam sale once, and I lasted about 3 minutes and discovered that it wasn't about to happen. Yeah, rarity has been weird. Rarity's been a bit wonky. I remember when Portal came out, the YouTube videos of it, about it, like the reviews. That was kind of prime new game, like variety game and new game reviews era. I feel like people now, well, not people, just me, just me. You've been with your game long enough, you just kind of stick to it and you play like the types of games you like. But it felt like back then gamers were more open, or maybe just me, I'm just projecting. I was more open to trying a wider variety of different games depending whether or not people said they were good, and not so much depending on what was in the game. I would get like platformers and puzzle games and stuff on Steam that were cheap if they were well reviewed, even though I don't really like platforming or puzzle games. I think as I've gotten older, I've gotten a better read on what I like. 874? It's like a 1 silver deposit for potentially a 3 silver profit. I might just vendor the darn thing. It's 5 silver to vendor it. What about this? That's only an 8 copper deposit. Yeah, maybe. Maybe somebody will buy it. Oh, early blackmouth are cheap now. It's funny what I consider to be cheap when I didn't before. Good for getting out of the mobs in your face. That's a good point. I never played Portal, but you can't get away from the cake is a lie meme. Everyone heard that one. Johnson, thank you for the 31-month resub. I never put in earrings today. I was gonna put cute ones in. It was gonna be the finishing touch to my extremely cool outfit. I totally forgot. I guess it'll make it faster to go back to bed. Cake is delicious. That is not a lie. In your opinion, what is the finest variety of cake? What is the most desirable? Like, it's your birthday. Someone's like, we're getting you a cake. What kind of cake are we getting? What do you tell them? I'm currently sitting on 66 silver and 11 copper. Although I'm about to get 5 silver because I'm going to vendor this bow. Nadia, thank you for the 25-month resub. I thought I was subscribed. Appreciate the streams. They help me on bad brain days. I'm glad to have you here. Carrot cake or red velvet? Ice cream cake. If we're talking unorthodox cake adjacent desserts, my number one is tiramisu. Ice cream cake and cheesecake are also both up there. If we're talking actual cake, then there is this one that this bakery makes here, and they call it, I forget what they call it, maybe something New York themed, but it's basically a chocolate cake with hazelnut frosting, and it's amazing. It's really good. Although they don't make anything bad.
How may I help?
It's the only thing I could recommend to tourists. If you come to Victoria, you gotta go to Patisserie Daniel. They'll do you right. Goblin deviled clams. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, you know what? I'm in the wrong spot. I was looking for alchemy. Thanks, Oakenby. Sounds decadent. It's so rich that you can't really have large quantities of it without being like, this is too much. It's actually like too rich. But you do like a small piece with milk or whatever, if you're a dairy person, whatever you're gonna do. And it's just like the best. I have never been to high tea at the Empress Hotel. Not once. I feel like at this point, it would let me down. I don't think there's any way that it would ever live up to the hype. I feel like it would be, or not the hype, the cost. I don't think there's any way that experience could possibly live up to the cost. But you know what? There's other tea rooms in town that will serve you like a proper tea for like a more reasonable amount of money. So I think there's probably other options. Although then it wouldn't be at the Empress.
Del Madras, what brings you here?
My
May the
goods are of
stars
the
guide
highest
you.
quality.
What
Goddess,
else can I
watch
make?
over you.
More. Oh, I'm almost out of Briarthorn.
Ishnu Dal Dieb.
Can I assist you?
Get rid of this. I actually don't need that. I guess I could have given it away to somebody random, but the furry paws. Yeah, 74 silver. I'll take it. How much is it? Let me see if I can find out. High Tea Empress Hotel. The hotel itself is already shockingly expensive. Reinvigorated in our timeless, sophisticated lobby lounge. Tea at the Empress. $95 per person for afternoon tea. I don't know what all you get for that, but I don't think no thank you. I'm not that fancy. I would be uncomfortable. I want to it's just not my vibe anymore. 95. Yeah, 95 before tax and any gratuities too. Yeah. Better get a full meal for that. Yeah, maybe I'll do it one day. But it's more for, I think, the atmosphere than it is for what you're actually getting. What if it's tea with your dog? Yeah, how much do I have to pay them to let me bring Moose? Hello, can me and my enormous puppy come out to tea? Thanks. Oh, she looks good. Look at this outfit. Look at those boots. Glad I did it for the experience. Wouldn't do it again. This is the character I play when I'm just wanting to wand things by myself. Her braid clips through her cloak. And then I can't. She's a ghost forever. I'm gonna go. I'll be back tomorrow morning for our, I don't want to say like the final hardcore classic stream, but for I think next week, patch release, I'm gonna stream some retail next week. We'll find something to do. At least a couple of days. I don't think I'll be done with hardcore, but I'm gonna try and start mixing retail stream content back in. So tomorrow, however, hardcore, we'll do one last big prediction to see whether or not Erlen makes it through another day. Some more darkshore leveling. Thank you all very much for joining me today. Appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.